Be with you guys shortly. We're just booting up Magic Online in the background, so just hang tight. Well, I tried to buy some time. Thanks for waiting, guys. So my Magic Online is still loading up, but wait. Then there was Legacy. There we go. So hope you guys are having a good Tuesday. So this is the deck we were jamming the end of last stream. Spicy list it was indeed. This is the Robo-Pod list. We were trying out adding extra forces to the deck. I like the deck overall. We actually only got one game with it so far, so here we're just trying to get the second game pickup. I've got a spicy modern list for you guys to see should my collection load after. I hope that it does. Sometimes it does this where it just has like a really, really slow boot up. But this is working at least. I hope you guys are having a good Tuesday. My Tuesday was not all that great. So far, doesn't mean it can't get better. See, that's the beauty of it, right? It can always get better. Nothing like sitting down and playing a little bit of Magic with you guys. It is definitely one of the highlights of my day. I know I don't get to do it every single day, but recently we've been trying to do it basically every single day. Brian, you're looking lovely with that 9 months. Have you tried out the new emotes, man? My personal favorite is actually the I like the card flick. That seems like what everybody seems to like. I kind of like how this one turned out though. They had all these. Like you can clearly tell what that is from a distance. You know, it's one of these. Right? It's a pretty universal symbol for I have all the cards. Hope you guys actually use those. We'll see. Jury is out on some of them. I had multiple people tell me that they missed here we go. It's actually loaded. I had lots of people tell me that they legitimately just missed the bow tie. So I may bring back the bow tie as an actual emote. We will see. Although I feel like that's just like human nature, isn't it? Like anytime something is taken away from us, we kind of get upset. Even if like somebody hands you something new and shiny, you still kind of miss the old, you know? So yeah, I built this list completely in... oh, we got paired. I built this list completely in Stream Decker, so bear with me. I'm going to download my own list. I've been doing that lately. It's just been more convenient to build lists on here than actually in Modo. So go ahead and download this. This is a spicy list. I saw an Esper variant of this. Wizards released their roster of tournament-winning decks. And there was a spicy... I don't know if we can keep this. I mean, sure, it's got force, but double mock, single land. It's a little rough. This is a no-lander. Also, not even a force. We'll have to keep here. So we're going to kick off today's today's stream with a little bit of Legacy. And then we're going to play some Godo's Gift. So it is a God Pharaoh's Gift deck. Their build was on, admittedly, more Shrooms and God Pharaoh's Gift, but they weren't playing a red splash. I added a red splash to try out things like classic Godo. This is something that we used to do in gifts, actually, for some time on this stream many years ago. But now that we have Goblin Engineer, I think that this is going to be a spicy idea. Also, we get to test Ilharg with the red splash. But yeah, it's a trash for treasure deck. I mean, yeah, they kind of gave us Entomb, right? If Entomb was a red 1/2 goblin. I'm assuming my opponent's Storm. I'm assuming we're very, very scared and maybe even just dead. Yeah, I assume my opponent is Storm. And I assume that we're dead. I'll take the Brea. In this matchup, we're probably not potting her out. We're probably just pitching her to force. And the target that I really want, if this really is... I mean, it might be Grixis, and then this is dumb for me to take because it's very good in the matchup. Oh, maybe he's not Storm. Well, now I'm sad that I picked it up. Huh. But I'm excited about this list. So you use Shroom to return the God Pharaoh's gift. Since I'm playing Goblin Engineer, I actually put also the normal way to put God Pharaoh's gift into play, which is the Gate to the Afterlife as a tutor target. I've got a couple of pieces of equipment, not just because of Godo, but it's nice to be able to. We just played a Goblin Engineer deck last stream. Yeah, he just bugged Delver with a slow draw. Tarmogoofy. Okay. Well, Glint probably won't get to block this Delver, right? They're probably going to flip that Delver. I don't really want to get my Glen Alundra Archmage dazed, but if she gets dazed, then maybe the Thragtusk doesn't get dazed. Definitely get a basic here. I'm going to swing. It's very easy that the Goyf grows. Any other type grows it. It's very easy that the Delver flips, and the Glint Nest doesn't really want to block Delver anymore. No flip of the Delva. It's hard to think that the Goyf wouldn't grow here. You guys gearing up for the... I overheard that tonight there's a Modern Showdown. I think it's like at 9 p.m. It's team... I think the format was Team Modern. So that's going to be cool. I might check it out myself. There's a lot that I'm excited about though. Like I want to play the deck I was working on today, of course. But I also want to, and I don't want to take credit for it, right? I basically just saw that what that Esper gift was doing, and I kind of transitioned it into Mardu, thinking that maybe that's going to be a better color combination for it. I'll go ahead and take this 3. We draw land. There's a good chance we get this dazed, right? Strix. Okay. I think it's safe to assume that the... Oh, okay. I don't think I'm running basic forest. Maybe I am. Oh, I am. Okay. Wish I could back this up with the Glen. Huh. Resolved. Interesting. I mean, he's gonna hang back on the Strix anyway because of Thragtusk, right? I can't imagine. I might block half of the Glen into the Delver. Decides not to flip Delver, but they brainstormed. Huh. This is a weird draw from Bug Delver over here. We'd love to see what? We'd love to see, well, an artifact other than Moxen, right? We'd love to see not Batterskull. We'd love to see Birthing Pod. We'd like to see Chalice, although they'll have Abrupt Decay. Just Goyf. We get a Beastie. Maybe I shouldn't though, because like that Thragtusk is a pretty sweet pod target. Another Tarmogoofy. Well, this is why he's not flipping Delver. He's got a lot of Goyfs. It's a lot of Goyfs. Prime Speaker. We just gotta hold tight. Hold tight. We gotta hold on to our butts, stream. Unfortunately, we don't have Brea to go grab. I mean, I guess I can like hostage take her one of the Tarmogoyfs and cast it. Can turn them against their master, right? Because I don't have to pass priority. I can just immediately, and we can use the Glen to protect. Yeah, we gotta kind of do something powerful like that. He's gonna mash with these Goyfs. I don't have a good block. I don't think I even bother because we need the Crane. The only thing I'd block with here is maybe the Beast to just not take a million. She does not get hit by Abrupt Decay. This looks like Gurmag Angler. Hooting Mandrills. Fair enough. Tree of Tails. Alright, so let's Prime Speaker the Crane. We're not attacking here. Strix, we don't want to lose the... I mean, not that he would block, but... So, if I went Treasure Mage as the line to go to Mirror Enforcer to Grizzlebrand, that's a defensible line, right? But I think I'm going to go Deceiver Exarch into Hostage Taker so we don't die. Untap Prime Speaker. The other thing I could do is I could actually Prime Speaker the Archmage, go get the no, we need a Goyf this turn. I was considering going and getting. We might still do that line, by the way. Right, hostage taker. We're gonna turn these Goyfs against their master. That would be good. We're still too many artifacts shy to consider. I mean, this is just a temporary solution, right? Because these Goyfs just bounce off. If I had a way to flicker this hostage taker, we could... Okay, he's just drawn a force. We're kind of doing the thing on the board, though. We just need to protect Prime Speaker. Hey, what's up, Brian? I see you using that Bruce Spy hat. All these. Our hand is actually garbage, though. We're just gonna jam the whole team. That's not that bad for us. So our blocks look like this. Now the problem with this block is I lose out on the hostage taker though, and we kind of want to turn this into what? We want to turn this into... I'd rather keep the Glen. I want to turn hostage taker into Shriek Maw, right, to kill one of the Goyfs. Can I take 4 here? I guess I could just take 4, or 5. I could just take 5. Because I probably want to keep the Archmage because our flying defense is weak. Might want to try to trade the Archmage with the Strix even. So maybe we do this. Well, no, if I do that, then I can't. Yeah, I'll just block like this. So we're going to go down 5. Archmage comes back. Barring, like, I don't know, surgical. I doubt that's the thing. Chalice. Okay. Well, Chalice probably gets the force. We can kill a Goyf by converting the hostage taker. This blocks here. Or, I mean, we could jam this Chalice and force it through with the Archmage, and then we have to worry about taking damage off the Strix is the problem. I think we don't actually fight here, because I could just die in a few turns to the Flyer. I think if he wants to force, that's his prerogative. He probably will. So I think unfortunately we have to do this block because I'm not getting the worm coil out for a couple of turns, right? Like we're gonna. Oh, okay, this resolves. Interesting. Mox Opal. This Prime Speaker, the Taker, right? We don't want to convert Goif. No, I don't think so. Although we could. Now let's go. Let's go get Shriekmaw. Shriekmaw to take out another Goif. If we draw another Mox Opal, I can cast Brea, and then this game is just over. She really is good in these grindy matchups. I wish I hadn't misjudged our opponent as playing Storm. When he went Underground Sea Ponder, I thought he might be. Leovold. Okay. Not planning on doing any targeting, though. Is this a free attack? No, not really. Vault. Almost Brea, right? Close. I think we're going up to Wormcoil, right? I'm pretty sure I just go up to Wormcoil and then he's never attacking again, and then we just have to maneuver through the Strix somehow, but we don't really care. We'll just go get Grizzlebrand. Like, if the board is a stalemate, we win if we just keep activating Prime Speaker. Like, if I can just go up our pod chain the natural way, which we gave the deck the ability to do so. Like, even this just stonewalls the board. I'm not saying that we've won, but we maneuvered triple Tarmogoyf territory so far. Next would be go all the way up to Grizzlebrand. I don't know how we're going to navigate through this Strix. We'll figure something out. I mean, maybe we just draw another Opal and we cast Brea and counter his force with Glen. Strix. Okay, let's start there. Opponent has had enough. Now, let me just check the standings and make sure. Yeah, we did take a game, so if we win this game, we get 50 delicious play points, which we could really use. Because we have been playing some jank. We have killed off a lot of the points that I was making off of the Hogak era. I mean, he should be a Wasteland deck, unless he's more mid-rangey. But I imagine he's a Wasteland deck. That would be very strange if he wasn't. This also sometimes hits Planeswalkers post-board. We're bringing this in, though, mostly for that reason. We're going to cut the forces. Let's see. He is on Tarmagoofies. I mean, Leyline, just in case, like, our other things are what we want. I mean, I probably just want to stay pod, right? Even the Glen looked fine there because she trades with a Delver and then she'll trade with a Strix. I might keep her in. She's not usually my go-to in these fair matchups, but I think honestly, like, a lot of our creatures are perfectly fine here. I might play the Fluster, I might play the Brutality, but I mean, I just want to respect. I might just play the Planeswalkers. Might just do that. Kind of curve like this. It's a 60. I think I like. I don't really like doing Helm of Obedience just over Helm Leyline over Tarmogoyf. I think that's foolish. All right, Legacy players, get your fill here because we are going to be switching over to some another format in a moment. That was a mold of 5, by the way. That's bizarre that we took that game. I mean, we're on the draw. I don't know if I'm supposed to keep this even still. Like, the deck is not all that many lands. I think we were on 2022. Let me see. Probably not enough lands, to be perfectly honest with you, chat. Give it a second. think we're not on that many lands. Oh, I can't even go to the other window now? You're kidding me, right? Do I have to reboot? Waiting for program to respond. Please respond, Magic Online. Like, I can see the window, but it's not letting me, like, click on it and actually, like, play in it, if that makes sense. Come on. I think we should just maybe reboot. Sometimes you just need to do a fresh reboot. The worst part, though, about rebooting when you're in the middle of a game is Magic Online tries to put you immediately back into the game, which that's a good thing, I think. The problem is sometimes all the different card art hasn't like loaded into the client yet. So we'll see if we're missing some art. I hope not. Yeah, it's just as I feared. We're missing actually all of them. But for the sake of clock, thank goodness they loaded. All right, we'll mulligan. I'll keep here. I think keep on. Okay, top. So we can lead forest. Awkward to go forest in a vault when my hand is 2 cranes, but I don't want to get got by wasteland. Thoughtseize probably takes Birthing Pod. Takes the Moxen. That's reasonable. I wasn't anywhere near that Mox, but that's reasonable to take. Remember, we have a game to give, right? We took game 1. So we do have 1 game to give. Mox. I'm with you, deck. But it doesn't actually do anything yet, opponent. Are we going to fight over this? Yeah. So unfortunately, we draw any mana source, we can play Birthing Pod, regardless of color. If we do specifically draw a blue source, we can cast Crane. It's probably Leovold. It's Brainstorm. Hey, what's up, Jade? I see that card flicking, slinging. You slinging some spells? Yeah, it's good to see you, Jade. Good to see you guys. So we're playing. We're finishing up that Legacy League. Wow, this guy is just hating on this Opal. Thoughtseize the first one. Decays the second one. Watch us just draw a blue source like a pro right here. Give me any mana source. I suppose I'd prefer blue, but oh wow, we just draw the third Mox Opal. That's funny. It's like the Thoughtseize curse, right? Or the removal curse. Like whatever you Thoughtseize or, whatever you spend a removal spell on, that's exactly what your opponent's going to draw. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Better than all. Is that what's going on here? Another Abrupt Decay. Okay. Pretty far off from that guy. Cancel. Don't forget, we took game 1. Yeah, he really doesn't. I mean, card is pretty overpowered, let's be honest. Is the closest to, like, an actual Mox. It's a real Mox. It is. And it taps for any color. Card strong. Hardcast Force over there. So they are a Bug Delver deck that has no clock, that has no wasteland. That's good news for us. But if we continue to draw like this, it's not going to matter. Eventually the opponent will put a clock on the table. Our hand has a lot of redundancy. Could take a Crane. I can't even cast. I'm closer to casting Birthing Pod than I am Crane. Takes Manafar. Fair enough. No, nothing over there. Alright. Blue source. Nope. I mean, if they're doing nothing, that gives us a chance to draw out of this Mana Screw. Yeah, they're just flooding over there. Finally have a threat. Just straight up thinning. Toxic. Alright, I don't mind seeing a sideboard card. Rather see a land, but I guess I don't mind seeing a sideboard card. Promise you guys we put lands in our deck. Okay, I'll take it. It's a Birthing Pod. Opponent's at 12 from fetching and thought seizing. It's fine. We gotta work through these dazes eventually. That's a daze that might have hit this toxic. Do we have a clock? Looks like he's drawn one. Maybe he sided out all his creatures. There you go. That's a creature. I don't think I want to just immediately slam the toxic, though, into another daze. I think we play the Birthing Pod first. Or I can start playing these cranes, and we're in business. See, now we wouldn't mind seeing the 4th Mox. Gonna force this. This might be... I was about to say this might be our first whiff. It was not. Do we take the land or do we take the Thopter? I'd probably take the Thopter. What does 5th land do for us? Well, 5th land gets us closer to this Worm Coil. Helps us play around soft permission. Maybe I will take the Vault. Also, like, opponent hasn't had any, like, we have the Mirror Enforcer in our hand. It's tempting to take the Artifact land. So we'll take 4. If he presents another creature, I might just slam the Toxic. Yeah, he doesn't have Force mana. At least hardcast Force mana. Probably shouldn't attack even still. We don't know if the Toxic is resolving. I guess if it doesn't resolve, I'll follow up with... Okay, we have instant... Yeah, we have every creature type except for Planeswalkers, so we're good to set this to 6. most likely. Game is unfortunately kind of coming down to this. Yeah, he did have a force pitch what? Force pitch days. So we'll have to chump the Goyf here. Actually, if he has removal spell as his last card, Strix is great. Game might not be over. Let's see. So we block the Goyf. We take 4. Yeah, Brainstorm looking for removal. Yep, that'll do it. Alright, well, we got this third game. I got a good feeling about it. We're not going to mulligan. It's going to be great. Oh, yeah, we had way too few lands in this build of the deck. That was me, I guess, hoping that the Mox would do some heavy lifting, or the Cranes and the Strixes and everything, but yeah, way too few lands in the deck. But looks like this hand functions. We'll keep. Yeah, way too few lands. You guys think he's on Stifle? I think we would have seen it by now if he were on Stifle. And green really is just our splash. Like, I can get away with basic island, basic swamp. Although we haven't seen Wasteland once, is another thing. Is this finally the Delver? Alright, so he's going to take a Strix. Maybe you take Birthing Pod, depends on what his hand looks like. But I imagine we're going to see him take a Baleful Strix here. Yeah, he takes Strix. Maybe I don't even play this Strix into this Daze. Maybe. I mean, it sets him back for him to do that, though, so I think we're okay with that. Like, his next turn would have to be another 1-drop play. Drew Seat. Alright, well, we're maybe going to need to get Green Source on that Misty now, so let's go Swampy. Alright. So we're developing this time. That's good. Could slam Birthing Pod. Probably just play Crane, to be honest, chat. Well, no, but we might want to try to hostage on turn 4. Strix, it's fine. Okay, so we are hitting third land. We can play around Daze. Let's play around Daze. Let's do that. And I'd rather block Strix with Crane. Chalice. Cool. I'll take it. Okay, so what do we got coming here? Tarmagoof. Okay. I have a Strix for that. Do we want to just pod the Crane, or do we want to just establish Chalice? Might just be happy going Chalice. I don't think we're in a rush, chat. I don't want him to be able to take us off blue, but I don't think he's got... Oh, I just punted. I don't think he's got... I was supposed to grab the island there. I don't think he's got Wasteland, though. We would have seen it by now, I imagine. Which is strange, because he's on Daze. I mean, maybe he really just hasn't drawn his Wastelands. in 3 games. Well, 2.5 games. I did mean to get blue source though. That's fine. We'll take less damage off of the birthing pod activations moving forward. I might even just hostage take with the Tarmogoyf. Yeah, I regret not getting the. I also could have fetched pre-playing the Chalice and played the Chalice here and then played the Crane off of the Seed of the Synod. Like, we had options there. I should have thought out my turn a little bit better than that. Yeah, I should have thought out my turn a little bit better than I did. Alright, so we could play Hostage Taker and we wouldn't be able to cast the Goyf immediately. This might be a force moment from the opponent. Alright, we're going to see Force, Pitch, Spell Pierce. Oh, okay, we were going to lose the Birthing Pod. Pass it back. We were going to get the Birthing Pod countered, potentially. Volcanic. Well, now we know why there's no Wastelands. These 4 colors. Bet it's for, like, Culligan's Command, maybe Pyroblast. It's probably Pyroblast, Culligan's Command. Mandrills. I don't really want to get this Wormcoil Engine dazed. I'm a little worried that that's what might happen. Prime Speaker's tempting to cast as well. Like, if I potted this turn, I could go straight to Brea, couldn't I? Let's see, if I went pod, activate pod, Brea. Would that put me in a better position? Somewhat. And then I can... I think she actually can kill the Mandrills. It's -4/-4, is it not? Yeah, I think it's a -4/-4. She either bolts -4/-4 or she can, yeah. I think we just go for Brea here. It's a little greedy, but I think we do it. Well, I would swing first if that's my plan. Is that what we're doing, chat? We got a little bit of time to think about it. Not much. A little bit of time. I'm just going to look at my most recent Robo-Pod list. Just so I can... I guess it's been so long since we've jammed this deck, I don't have her abilities memorized. I used to. Here we go, Robo-Pod. Yeah, I think it's -4/-4 on her one of her abilities. Let's see, Brea. Oh, wow. Stream Decker doesn't have her? That's funny. Oh, I can look at her when we fetch. Yeah, there we go. Because I'm probably fetching anyway. Yeah, I think it's -4/-4. Yeah. So she can't kill the Goyf, but we can chump the Goyf. It's a little greedy, but you see us doing some of the degenerate stuff. So let's swing first. I think this is what I want to do. Deceiver Exarch, untap target permanent, untap Birthing Pod, Brea. And we're going to have Brea with quite a few artifacts, which is where you want to be. Might chump the Goyf, honestly, with one of the Thopters. He might swing Mandrills too, but we just take the Mandrills damage. I mean, Mandrills we get to kill next turn with her. Yeah, so I like a chump. Take 4. Tree's great draw. So I can go Prime Speaker. And actually what I'm planning on doing with her is I'm thinking I'm just going to crack her to the pod. Okay, opponent scoops. Hey, we got there. I'm telling you, Brea, she wins a lot of games of Legacy. Like I've had her save us. I've had her save us from all sorts of stuff. Like I've had her save us from, let's see. Yeah, I mean she can win lots of, as long as they're not a combo deck, like she wins most board states. There have been like Tesserator lists that use her in the past. So all right, well, that was Robo-Pod. Let's switch over. We're going to play a little bit of Modern. Thank you guys for staying for the end of the Robo-Pod League. I'm going to go give those cards back. We got a really spicy deck coming up. If you guys are interested in brewing around Goblin Engineer, we got a spicy, spicy deck. We're calling it Godo's Gift. It's an Inspector Gadget reference. We used to play Godo Gifts, but this is Godo's Gift because it's God Pharaoh's gift. So what's happening here is it's a trash for treasure take on Engineer, but this one's a little bit more all in. I actually roughly based this on an Esper list that was doing Shroom God Pharaoh's Gift. So Shroom says, when Shroom the Hedgeman comes into play, you may return target artifact card from your graveyard to play. It's refurbish, right, on a creature, but it's a legendary creature, so you can Goryo's Vengeance it, right? The problem with giving up blue is we give up what? We give up Jace Vryn's Prodigy, which is great with Vengeance. But if you're willing to give that up, like this is still colors for Obsidat. Obsidat is a great target for Goryo's in a semi-fair deck. Right, so this is kind of just like Reanimator value. We're not really trying to necessarily be all in on the graveyard, right? Like I have 7 cards that get shut off if the graveyard doesn't work. Technically more, right, if you count the gift itself. Although, if the game goes long enough, right, you could theoretically hardcast that, right, theoretically. So card hoarder should be here any second to pick up these cards from us. But let's go ahead and get the deck into Magic Online. I think when we downloaded it, it's going to be, yeah. These kinds of decks excite me. I saw, what did I see? I saw a really spicy take on the so the Esper list, like I said, was kind of more along the line. They actually weren't playing any Lingering Souls. It was like Hedron Crab. And so the real benefits of going into red is not just looting, but yes, looting. Like looting's a big part of why I might rather try this kind of archetype red. We also get to try out Nahiri in the sideboard. I think there's a lot of reasons why I think we're gonna prefer the I think we'll prefer the red splash. I think looting being the first really. This doesn't have Garrick either. I know. Maybe once the new Leyline comes out, Jade, we can do some sort of like Garrick deck. In the background, I'm just giving back our previous list. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this idea. I just kind of brewed this up in my free time today. I don't expect it to be amazing. It's just a prototype. Am I borrowing ideas from another player? Yes. He wasn't playing Giver of Runes though, and I think that that actually might be sweet. There's plenty of Dismember, Assassin's Trophy, Path to Exile floating around, so I like the idea of the deck being able to not just protect like Goblin Engineer, but we're able to protect all these different reanimate targets. Now, um, she doesn't protect the Batter Skull, of course. It's creature. She could protect the Germ, right? But she does protect, and that's why I kind of leaned on some of these engineer targets, right? Or the Sculler. I like the idea of activating this in the draw step. Oh, that's weird. Draw step, activating engineer to Sculler. So that's why this was in his original build. I think the guy was playing 4 Scullers. Now the curve on this deck is what? It's going to be ugly, right? Because we've got this top end of God Pharaoh's Gift nonsense, right? So you could argue that pretty much all of this wants to be in the bin, with the exception Batter Skull wants to be in the deck. Same with Sword and like Gate. Like these kind of want to be inside of the deck. Now we've got kind of this small artifact package, right? And then you've also got, I mean, you could argue that these are, we've got a few things that are kind of small that Goblin Engineer can get out naturally, right? He just needs another artifact. That's where Couriers and the Citadels come in. So right now I'm just making sure it's got all the arts and versions of things I like. So we are going to play a couple Trash for Treasure. That's another advantage to being in red. The Esper list he was playing Refurbish. Now Refurbish doesn't need another artifact, right? So you could argue that like an Esper variant is going to be cleaner on the mana base because you don't really feel taxed into running. You won't feel. Yeah, the word is taxed. I don't feel compelled. Maybe that's a better way to say it. I don't feel compelled to play some number of Citadel. I think the mana base is going to function just fine. I'm not too worried about it. We'll find out the hard way, I suppose. Usually that's my weakness, admitted weakness in brewing and building decks is is um, is my all right. So there we go. So we got mana. That's a good first step. And actually, the white and red is what we're doing in the early stages. Even when you look at our sideboard, a lot of what we're doing in the early stages is white and red. Hardest card to cast in the 75 is going to be the Bantus. These might want to be something different. We could talk about that. I don't really want to play Anger, but maybe I could. Because, like, all the stuff that we're... That's true. We could just play Anger. As weird as it seems to do that in a Reanimator, like, we're not really... We could do like a split. I think the black is going to be hard on the Bantus. Like I think Obsidat will work out in the end game, just because we've had a lot of turns to kind of do some color fixing and fetching specific fetches. But I think we're more definitely going to pull off red than we are going to pull off black. So maybe we should just play Angers. Um, this has some anti synergy here and there, right? I mean, I guess Giver could survive. She could make another permanent survive this. But anyway, so we've got some stuff that we're going to be hard casting that are like small, right? Smaller, little Goblin Engineer. So we want a few things that the Goblin Engineer can choose from to put into play naturally. Then we have some cheaty face stuff. So between Shroom and Godo, we're planning on reanimating through either Trash for Treasure or through Shroom via Goryo's Vengeance. We're looking to what? We're looking to be playing things like God Pharaoh's Gift, getting back 4/4, hasty, whatever. One criticism I do have is a lot of the things I'm reanimating don't have abilities, right? So like that's kind of why I wanted to maybe play something like Giver to protect like kind of the wombo we're doing, but also like okay, so if we made a copy of Ilharg, right, it's going to have all the abilities that Ilharg has, including Trample, right? If we made a copy of Shroom, it's going to be a 4/4 flyer. If we make a copy of Obsidat, well, you know. Ooh, that's a good question. What happens if you God Pharaoh's Gifts Obsidat and then you want to blink it? That's awkward. Does it come back? Because it's technically a token. It's a good question. It's a good judge question, potentially. But yeah, so it's a God Pharaoh's Gift. Now, one of my other criticisms with the Esper variant was he wasn't bothering with Gate to the Afterlife. I understand that, right? We need to have 6 or more creatures, but the deck is 20 creatures. I don't think it's impossible that this could see 6 creatures naturally. So I want to give it to us as a Goblin Engineer target because even if we don't quite have 6 creatures, when we're cracking Bomat Couriers or if they're just removing our creatures or we're blocking, we get to draw a card and then we can discard a card. I think that in and of itself, and the life gain is nice too. So I think this is worth a slot in the deck, even if it's just in my build as a Goblin Engineer target. So we're gonna go ahead and grab this deck. Let's open a new copy. We need a lot of cards for this deck, don't we? But I've really been enjoying brewing around Goblin Engineer. I could build decks based around Goblin Engineer for weeks. We probably will. Okay, so I have a path, have these, have that, need all this. Okay. Need to have an Obsidat, have sword, need all this except for that. Randomly have one of those. Have quite a bit of the mana base, not all of it. Ooh, these are mismatched. What's going on? Okay, I've got those. Oh no, I don't. Never mind. So we need a foundry. I've got these. Cool. Export. Let's get these cards ordered. Let's get playing. Products. How are we doing on ticks? How are we doing on points? 101 points. Nice. Okay, so yeah. That's why we wanted to finish playing that Legacy League and potentially prize, because we get to walk away with enough points to pay for today's league. That's always relevant. You want to when you play Magic Online, you kind of want to try to coast events, right? Especially because I like to brew and I'll play some less competitive jank on occasion. Well, a lot of the time, let's be honest. This one I have high hopes for. Wow, this deck is super cheap. This is 82 tickets. Oh, this deck is... Well, this is a nice little budget deck. At least on Magic Online, it's cheap. That's dirt cheap for a potentially really cool deck, in my opinion. Let's get these cards. Goblin Engineer is such a Johnny card. I love it. But we're using both sides of the Engineer, which is what excites me about this deck, because we talked about using Goblin Engineer as an Entomb effect. This deck finally does that. Because guess what? If I have a Goryo's Vengeance and a couple of Goblin Engineers, I can assemble Pharaoh through the deck itself, right? Or one of these pieces is already in the graveyard anyway. That's the best part. Yeah. I think using both sides of Engineer there's theoretically a deck in Modern that needs to be discovered, and it's going to use both sides of Engineer. I think it could be something like this. I'm not gonna preach that it is this, but I'm just saying I think that there's an unlocked hidden deck that somebody hasn't figured out yet. Maybe we're the first ones. Maybe I have no idea. We're just brewing, right? And I told you guys that. I did base this list relatively heavily off of an Esper list I saw. You can find that list on Wizards of the Coast website. And I said, you know what if this deck was Mardu? And I just started pulling it apart and piecing it back together from there, and hopefully it'll do the thing. But, yeah, between Goryo's Vengeance and the couple of Trash for Treasure, because Trash for Treasure is pretty tough, right? Right, it requires a lot of pieces. There needs to be specifically like one of these four. For the Trash for Treasure to be juicy, there needs to be Gift, Shroom, or Batterskull. And even if there's Shroom, we're hoping that one of those other three is already in the graveyard, right? Does it make sense? So, like, these, I didn't want to play more than, like, one or two. Now, the Esper list was playing 2 Refurbish. Refurbish is 1 more mana, but you don't have to sacrifice an artifact. I don't think the sacrifice an artifact is going to be too much of an issue. This is such a powerful payoff that we're probably happy most of the time we do this. Now, weaknesses with this silly idea of ours. Well, namely... and actually, I'm just playing Ilharg because he's a bit grindy. I like the fact that Even when he gets exiled to Goryo's, I can keep putting him third from the top. So I mean, this deck's clearly trying to what? Trying to grind. I wish it had a little bit more interaction, to be perfectly honest with you, chat. Um, that's one of my other criticisms of the idea. Yeah. The other list's interaction really was just a couple of brutalities. They had some Lilianas, and then they had a bunch of Scullers. I'm only playing the one. So we'll see how we like this configuration. This might be a wash. That's okay. And we're going to get hit by what? We're going to get hit by everybody's artifact hate. We're going to get hit by everybody's graveyard hate. So we're going to get hit by a lot of different types of hate. Post board. Did I not get the Darksteel Citadels? I did not. My bad, chat. Actually, I don't know if I want to test Double Anger. I kind of wanted like a harder sweeper. I just don't think... Let's see. Black Source, Black Source. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I still don't feel great about like a black sweeper. We could just go Anger, Anger. Yeah. It's arguably one of the better sweepers to be playing at the moment for many reasons. We don't really care about it as much as you might think we do. Just because, like, the real spice is this deck's late game. We're not really so concerned with, okay, we kill off, like, an engineer or whatever. No big deal. And just the red-red's going to be so much easier than black-black. I think we'll fix ourselves into white-white, black-black late game for the Obsidat. In my mind, I'm hoping that the only colorless source we use to cast this guy is maybe we draw one of the two Darksteel Citadels. Maybe two Darksteel Citadel is too many. Maybe we should just play one. And I was thinking we could maybe even play Baubles. This deck list has some amount of fetch. Not that many, though. It's only 6 fetches. I was thinking about Bauble. We could also play Stars. I mean, you can play Stars with Engineer. That doesn't feel so bad because when you don't go down a card when you sacrifice. Whereas same for Spellbomb. Spellbomb is neat with Engineer because it just has to be put into the graveyard. You don't have to actually do the sacrifice ability on it. So when this goes in the graveyard, as long as I have black mana, you can... Yeah, these pair really well together. We might want to play more Spellbombs. Courier doesn't quite work that way, right? Because Courier is red, discard, sacrifice. Then it's got colon, put all the cards exiled. So, that's a good way... How do we explain that? So... Anytime you see a colon in the activated ability of a magic card, that's where you stop. Or if there's like a break, right? So Tidehollow Sculler has 2 triggers, right? Because it has literally a period, indentation, right? Paragraph ends, new paragraph. So, yeah, the problem with Courier, I think Courier might be sweet for this, though, just because of the fact that it gives us another way to dump. We have so many things that need to get dumped into the graveyard in this deck. I mean, I don't think I want to straight up play Cathartic Reunion, though. Like, we needed more artifacts in the list when I was building it. And I also needed stuff that dumps into the graveyard. So I think that the Courier is going to hopefully solve both of those issues. We tried Courier even in the Hogak deck for a little bit. I liked some of what it did. It would give you another discard outlet, and it's a 1-drop for Vengevine. It didn't quite make the cut. And by the way, Super Secret Tech, I'm still working in the background on a Bridgevine list that is using Hedron Crab. Haven't quite pulled it off yet, but working on it. The hardest part about that deck is like getting a mana base that's stable. But anyways, let's roll with this, see if it does what we hope it could do. I have no idea. We might just get stomped. That's okay. Because like I said, like we're gonna be hit by not only people's artifact hate, we're gonna be hit by their graveyard hate. Now, what if we face off against some opponents that panic and have no idea what to do, right? There's a possibility. There's a possibility that we have some opponents that are like, what do I do? And that's exactly where we want them. we may win some games because we have some opponents that over sideboard. Actually, that's a real possibility for us. Because a lot of people's decks are what they're saturated with artifact hate, and they're going to be saturated with graveyard hate at the moment, right? So I'm kind of hoping that my opponents maybe like over sideboard, and then I maybe just like cut a little bit of our trash for treasures and our Goryo's vengeances, and we kind of play a little bit more of a fair game. Maybe even cut the Shroom. Shroom I can't hardcast, for example. So, this hand's probably bad. Kind of tempted to see where it goes, though. I'm kind of tempted to see where this goes. The old Plains Bomat Courier deck, right? Can follow up with Brutality, pitch the Obsidat. Alright, so we are playing the scary matchup. It's an Ilharg. Don't want to kill the supplier. Don't want to attack into supplier. Do I clear the board even still? He might not have a sacrifice outlet for that though. What is my other line? I Brutality here. Maybe grab another Faithless Looting. I've also seen some of these builds on Cathartic lately. But we have all our colors here. I could also just give up this Brutality. Like, we really just need to draw to what? A Vengeance? I could attack, crack the Bomat. Because we really just want our whole hand to get dumped, don't we? Drew Giver. Goryo's Vengeance, we're off to the races. Trash for Treasure doesn't work because we didn't play the Darksteel Citadel. Well, Trash for Treasure, oh okay, if we had Brutality we would have gotten a snag of Faithless Looting. If he has Hogak in hand, he can cast the Hogak. Looks like he has Hogak. That's unfortunate. Our paths are in the board, so this is also going to get him back a Vengevine. Yep. This is about how I would expect this match to go. Right, we probably need to see our main deck Spellbomb. I can block here. We're going to take 12. I draw Goryo's Vengeance. I'm still screwed. So I'm just getting back Obsidat. We kind of need to do something more degenerate than that. That's fine. We didn't really draw the Wombo. Opponent probably brings in Leyline. Alright, Moto's not going to let me look at our next card. I wanted to see how far away we were from like doing the thing. Okay, so Angers are great here. Crypt is good. Paths are fine. I'm assuming he's going to try to Leyline us. These also hit Altar, so that's nice. Maybe Sculler is going to come out. Rights is slow. The equipment package is too fair. We're going to cut that. Revoker also stops Altar. We're going to play it. Brutality's weak. Other than that, I don't really see anything that's all that great. Yeah, so Spellbomb, Crypt, Revoker. I'm going to stay combo, even though there's a good chance he Leylines us. I think we're going to stay... Well, I shouldn't say combo. We're going to keep our synergies. We're going to keep the synergies. So I'm going to keep the Gate to the Afterlife and the Gods. And I'm even going to keep Shroom. Then we're going to keep the Trashes. So Trash trying to reanimate just in this. So no Batter Skull anymore, but we're still trying to reanimate Shroom, God Pharaoh's Gift. Yeah, let's run it back. I don't see anything else I really want. I don't think we want Nahiri against them at all. I think we'll have a somewhat better post-board plan. We'll see. Bomat with a Vengeance. If we had the reanimate target and then drew into Vengeance, that's another story. This one I might need to keep. I'm assuming he's got Leyline if he's keeping. This Bomat's going to exile a Bomat. Sometimes it's nice to know what's under the Bomat, to be honest. Like, you know what you're exchanging this for. Maybe Thoughtseize? We don't really care if he Thoughtseizes us here, right? Neonate. Looting. So there's a Goryo's Vengeance. Awesome. Possum. He's not going to trade the Neonate for the Courier. He needs the loot too badly, I imagine. I mean, maybe he does because the Courier's got 2 cards on it. We're okay with that exchange. Unfortunately, a lot of that has to do with this Goryo's Vengeance in my hand. We can't really justify cracking the Courier. Like, I can't justify taking 2 rando cards to give up potentially reanimating the Obsidat. I mean, granted, he might have Graveyard Hate for us. I have no idea. But hopefully, this Obsidat's going to be pretty good. Okay, so he's going to get to bring back Vengevine, unfortunately. Not a bad draw for the opponent. A lot of time you'll see them take out Vengevine, but not this opponent. So we're going to Vengeance the Obsidat. And Obsidat's trigger is at the beginning of my end step, not my opponent's end step. So if I don't go for this now, sure, he probably just chump blocks with the Neonate. So we'll go up to 17, we'll attack. He probably block, discards. Ooh, there's a bridge from below. Okay. That's scary. Alright, so we're going to keep him because it's kind of a little broken synergy. Oof. Double Bloodghast. I think that Obsidat's going to be blocking. The first turn you get him out, you do have to attack with him, of course. Oh, he's got a Hogak in his hand. Rough. Now we're going to need to draw Path. I'm probably flashing back, looting, digging for Path. We're going to take 4. I'm going to fall to 13. Obsidat comes back. I meant to crack there. I mean, that's fine. It's too late now. Wear Tear. Doesn't hit anything. Yeah, I don't think I just played Gate. I think I... Let's see. Black. Does that do anything? White. Probably wouldn't need white. For any reason, but... Let's flash back this looting. Try to find some help. There's the trash. 4th land. I mean, maybe. Can't play it this turn though. Or sorry, we can. We kick it back. Unfortunately, blocking the Vengevine is better than blinking. So no. He's got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we're actually dead even if I block the Vengevine. We just got really outclassed here, unfortunately, chat. It looks like we'll need help from our sideboard for this matchup in the future. I mean, we could have mulliganed to a... What did we mulled down to? 6? I think we mulled to 6. We found a Bowmat Vengeance hand. Maybe... yeah, maybe we needed a mulligan to find, like, Paths, Angers, Graveyard Hate. Just wasn't quite enough. Hey, there's an Engineer. I mean, like, I don't think that's necessarily indicative of the matchup. Like, we have access to mainboard Grave Hate. Which, I mean, like, a lot of the more fair decks are going to do. And we also bring in 5 really relevant cards. I don't think that's necessarily indicative of the matchup. Maybe I even overboarded, right, thinking that he was going to try to leyline us. K-Pons for the raid. Thanks, man. How's it going? Oh, and now we have the Spell Bomb. Of course we have the Spell Bomb now. I don't think I keep this, right? Well, we're on the draw. We're on the draw. We don't have a Reanimate spell. It's kind of awkward to draw the Batterskull. Opponent quickly kept. Could they also be Hogak? Is everybody jamming Hogak today? I'm keeping this because we're on the draw, not because it's a... spell bomb hand. Ooh, I actually might just jam this Giver of Runes. Let's get, as awkward as it is since we have Engineer and stuff, I think I'm going to get Godless Shrine so we can jam the Giver. The next turn we can play Spell Bomb. If we don't hit land, we can crack Spell Bomb. The next turn, hope to hit land. Yeah, exactly. Would banning Bridge out of the Hogak deck even... No, I think the Hogak deck's insane. I've been playing it quite a bit myself, as you guys know. Okay, this is actually a matchup we probably want to see is this deck, because we're just like this weird, grindy, I'm punished for not getting red source deck. But we can't have known I was going to draw exactly Faithless. Odds are I'm going to see another land before I see a Faithless Looting. So, ooh, Teferi. It's fine. We're probably just spell bombing, trying to find that land. See if the deck is going to be kind to us. Deck is not being kind to us. I don't really want to scoop. We probably are going to lose, though. I'd rather he doesn't know what we're up to. I mean, that's just an episode of We Died to Ourselves. Let's see where the land was. 3, 4, 5 cards away. 6 cards away. It always feels good when you're right. Like, doesn't that feel good, chat? Shouldn't I feel good about my correct pro play to concede and not give any information to the opponent because we are playing a brew? When the second land was 6 cards away. I'm just kidding. You should maybe play that out. We already know what the opponent's archetype is. We already know. I do very light sideboarding here. A lot of our stuff is juicy. Things that aren't really that juicy. I mean, honestly, like, I want it all. I want to somehow also make room for the Nahiri. Like, I like Sword. I even like Batterskull here. We like all the things, right? Maybe we cut on Courier a little bit. Well, I don't like cutting too many artifacts because Engineer. Yeah, we don't want any of this. What did I bring in? I brought in Nahiri and I brought in the Revoker. So what do we cut then? I don't want to cut anything. This is all great. This is all gravy against blue-white. I think we can certainly win this matchup. Maybe I cut Trash for Treasure? No, we don't want to cut our Boom. Yeah, what do we cut? Maybe Ilharg? Well, Ilharg's pretty grindy. He keeps coming back. Maybe I cut a couple Givers? I don't think you cut Giver in this matchup. I probably cut a couple Bowmats. Alright, let's run it back. Could consider playing even some number of Path just because you kind of have to respect them. Maybe just bringing in the Cataclysmic Gearhulk or this. I've even seen the Gearhulk be a mainboard plan. This is a pretty grindy hand. We know they're not winning quickly. Like, if we fetch 2 black sources, we could hardcast Obsidat. Like you have to think that far ahead when it comes to playing against blue white, right? They've definitely got the tools now to really slow a game down. Maybe I should mulligan this hand, but like I hate mulliganing against blue white or Jund or whatever. It's just it's card quantity. It's not really the order that you see it all in. That was a solid draw from us. It's gonna hurt a little bit though. Take a peek. There's a lot of path to exile. Do we want to just take a path, or are we taking a cryptic? Doesn't really matter. He's going to path this probably anyway, which I guess is welcomed since we can make some land drops. Yeah, we know these guys aren't living. They're just paying for Obsidat sins, right? Like we know they're both just getting pathed, and like our opponent's gonna ramp us to 5, and we're gonna start like hard casting Obsidats and Godos. That's the plan, right? What do I go get? I've already got Godpharaoh's Gift in my hand. Do we still go put the other? We probably still go put the other Godpharaoh's Gift in the dump, right? Let's see, if this is in the dump, then Trash for Treasure is a live draw because we've got Spellbomb. We know, yeah, especially since we know the Engineer's not going to live. I'd probably just go get the other Godpharaoh's Gift and put it where we actually want it because there's no guarantee I'm going to get to dump the one that's in my hand anytime soon. Path. Thank you, sir. We need Swampy. Alright. Now any land casts Obsidat. So I'm gonna try to bleed out these paths though before we start casting those. Brutality can also take out a path. Might just dump this other Godpharaoh's Gift. I know that seems strange. But I think we're just going to hardcast these guys. Like, I kind of want to hardcast them and then reanimate them in this matchup. Like, it's just that kind of a slow, kind of grindy matchup. I mean, like, maybe I should even, instead of draining, like, maybe I'm still just better off holding on to this and maybe even, like, hardcasting it. Yeah, blue-white really is that kind of a matchup. Verdict. We don't really care about Verdict. Our creatures are pretty resilient to Verdict. I'm probably just going to take another path. He's one blue source from that Cryptic. We can work through Cryptic. Like, path might actually be more of a problem for us. Maybe I'm just going to crack this already. I know they're a Snapcaster Mage deck, but I could hit a looting this turn. I think we're fine with just cracking this. True Revoker. They've got quite a few more Planeswalkers in the current build of blue-white. So I'm actually one... I don't really want to let him 2-for-1 us. I don't really want to just Revoker out of the blue. We'll be patient. He's going to field, he probably fields my Godless. No, she fields here. That's fine. White, black, black. So we actually do want the plains. We got a clock on him. So we know the hand is Cryptic Verdict. That's all we know. Oops, I didn't mean to delete the Verdict, but I won't forget. Noset. Okay, so we could revoke that. And then he's tempted to spend a turn tapping out to Verdict, but then we just Obsidat. Well, he gets the path back, though. Why don't we looting first? I mean, I'm not getting the Narset off the table, so it's just a dump at this point. But I think that's what we do. Anytime there's an R set, like, the looting is just a dump. It's just a discard outlet. R set. I'd probably still swing at Narset. Because then you can't minus her again. He does not want to path my creatures. I got respect for that. You might see the verdict. Actually, there's no point in revoking if my plan is to put the Narset to 1 loyalty. All that it does is fights over him having another Narset. Okay, there's Engineer. Let's play Engineer instead of looting. Spell Snare. It's fine. Unfortunate that he now has Cryptic for my first threat that I want to jam, though. It's not good, chat. Yeah. I think I wasted the Revoker, because, like, there was a pretty good chance he's going to blow the Cryptic there. So this Obsidat is going to die for the sins of this Godo. There is another basic in our deck, so don't worry. So yeah, white, white, black, black. Yeah, this most likely gets pathed. I would be very surprised if it didn't. But in getting pathed, it puts us to Godo mana. Opponent might be inclined, though, to field us. Maybe I'm not supposed to get the mountain. Is that crazy? Because if I don't get the mountain, he might aggressively field us, and if I draw any land besides the Vantage and the Black Cleaves, I can cast Godo and he won't have Cryptic up. Is that like the weird next level play? Because if I just grab this mountain, opponent might just sit on Cryptic, right? If I don't grab the mountain, he thinks that his field is Strip Mine. Because here's the thing, if I grab this mountain, he probably fields me anyway, and then I'm back down to 5. And then I'm less likely to draw the mountain. Is this like a weird next level play where I can get him to tap out from his Cryptic? Probably not. We're probably just losing this game. Tank too long. Well, no, that's the classic, like, you're looking at your deck and you're sad. He's got it to Fairy. He wasn't going to sit on the Cryptic or the Field of Ruin. He was just going to cast a Planeswalker. Yeah, I mean, Blue-White's gotten a lot of tools now. I liked playing the deck myself a couple streams ago, although I was playing a Terminus build. No offense to... I think this build's fine, too. You got a whole community of people working for you when you do it that way. Nothing wrong with tapping into the hive mind for your deck. Nothing wrong with that. It's not what I prefer. There's nothing wrong with it, though. So, we can't cast Shroom, so let's go ahead and put that in the bin. Man, he had a really solid draw against us. Path is a bit of a problem. That's actually why I considered the my take on this deck having the we didn't draw any this game though, of course. Stepmoms. I thought that the Stepmoms might be sweet. Maybe I shouldn't scoop there because we're about to play Godo, right? If we draw land. Oh wow, we weren't going to see 6 land for a bit there. That's fine. We'll run it back. So we had Hogak round 1, which is tough. I don't think Blue-White itself is necessarily even so difficult. Game 1 we died to ourselves, right? So it could have been any matchup at that point. Game two, I think our sideboard is fine for them, but we we faced off against what? It was triple path and a verdict, which is a little tough. We didn't really get to do like the things we want to do with engineer. We didn't have like giver to maybe soak some of those paths so that like the obstat would live. Like we did get to the point in the deck where we like start hard casting some of this stuff, but it was kind of too late. And like I mean, as a 21 land deck with looting, like surely that's gonna happen. It's gonna be hard to. Ooh, all right, hang on. We'll give this a try. Look at this hand a try. All right, good luck. Have fun. So let's looting. I'm gonna dump the. I'm gonna keep sword. I'm gonna dump gate and gift. Yes. Even though I don't know what he is, I think I'd rather keep sword. These are all kind of part of the same package trying to assemble. So we probably play Sculler next into this spell snare. I don't know if he has a spell snare, chat. I'm just trolling. I'm just trying to do cool things, opponent. Just let me do cool things. Just let us do some cool things. Is this blue-white again? Alright, well then we get to retry the matchups. That's actually a good thing. I'm not that disappointed. Oh, it's a Vista deck. Okay. Vengeance. Okay, well we could slam Engineer. We don't even need this guy to stay alive. Perfect. We don't need him to live. We need the Vengeance to resolve. So you go get Shroom. And see, this is what's kind of cool about this build, the Mardu build. I only have one Shroom, but we have 4, ways to entomb her. So opponent's kind of like, right? Right? We can end step the Gorios. We don't care about necessarily even attacking with the Shroom. I mean, that might be nice, right? But if the opponent gives me a window to... Okay, so he's playing Spirits. Spirits with Spell Snare. Spicy. He's going to have Force Negation. We definitely want to cast this during his turn then. We definitely want to cast this during my opponent's turn. He is a Force Negation build. A lot of the Spirit lists are Force Negation variants at the moment. We have double Gorios. Okay. What do I want to do? Actually going to looting. So there's the Batter Skull. We can dump that. I don't really want to take... I might just use this instead. I might dump these two. Gives me a couple different shots at Vengeance on the Shroom. Yeah, absolutely you want to Gorios during our opponent's turn. Like, no question, there's Rattle Chains. Does he have Force? I might be interested in forcing the issue here, actually. White's kind of just our splash, although we do have like the occasional hardcast opposite. I guess I'll get the Plains. Oh wow, he didn't have it. Alright, so gift. There's some consideration to the Batter Skull, but like we do have a creature in the bin. We do have Sculler. We've got a couple lootings. I can just start looting and looting and looting and. This will be interesting. Now the thing of it is right, we're this like greedy, grindy, hybrid reanimator artifact deck thing that like we don't even necessarily immediately win the game once we do the thing, right? Something to think about. That is something to think about, chat. Alright, I mean I think we just like loot a bunch of times, right? Like we're just looking to put creatures in the bin. Might fight over this. There's an Obsidat. Ooh, we never got like the judge call on how does Godfarrow's Gift work with something like Obsidat, Ghost Council. Like if I blinked it, it's technically a token, so it can't come back, right? I mean, I know this is still what I discard, obviously, but just thinking ahead. It'd be a token, so it goes poof. All right. So we will dump these two, and actually I might even dump the sword. I don't even think this sword is what this game's going to be about, right? No, that's weird. I probably shouldn't dump sword. Well, I'd like to be able to cast, but we don't have a second black source anyway, so I can't go double Gorios anyhow. Why don't we actually dump a Gorios, though? Yeah, we could Vengeance the Obsidat, which is making me think I want both. Why don't we dump these two? Greedy to keep sword. Alright, so we're going to get back the Sculler, not the Obsidat. No, we can Vengeance the Obsidat, assuming we stack our triggers right. Shade says it's a token, though. It'll vanish. I think he's correct. Well, let's go with Sculler regardless. I think the Sculler trigger is good. We just get to see what's up. Like, we don't even get to keep their card, right? Yeah, we don't get to keep it. Oh, no, it's not until end of turn. It's just, yeah. Yeah, we just have this Sculler. That's sweet. I forgot how strong that this card is. There's a reason we're bending over backwards to try to make it work in a weird, convoluted, cheaty face way in Modern, right? It is a strong card. Need to find more creatures, though. I almost want this Goblin Engineer to die so it can... Oh, okay, so he is playing the Tallow-Wisp build. Oh, man, the Tallow-Wisp build is so sweet. It really is. I'm going to take an Archmage's Charm. The Tallow-Wisp, so he's actually going to get to take this Sculler. That's terrible for us. That's awful. That's sad. Archmage's Charm can take it. He can literally gain control of the token. He decides not to. What? Why wouldn't you just take the Sculler? Oh, is it still count as CMC2? Oh, it's not like a true token. It's still a CMC2 creature. Weird. The token has CMC2? Weird. I guess because it says copy of that card, right? It's a token, but it is still a pure copy, right? It's every bit of Tidehollow Sculler except it is black, right? And it is weird. Okay. Copies all the attributes. Cool. Okay, so we didn't get got by the charm. Alright, so before we go to combat... Actually, hang on. So let's just loot here. Trying to just churn over more creatures, hopefully. Nice. So we're going to dump this Engineer so it reanimates. Dump land? That's so greedy, Bruce Spy. What are we doing? I shouldn't be doing that. But I think I want 2 shots at this. I find it hard for me to dump the sword. I don't really want to. I'm assuming he just Archmage's Charms this, right? Oh, no, he didn't. We kind of have all the things. It's funny, like this is totally stuff we could have done against our other opponents. Maybe not the Hogak deck. This did take a couple turns to get going, but that was a pretty sweet draw from us. So he's playing this list almost precisely. I should know because I looked it over and thought it was very, very beautiful. I thought it was a beautiful deck. Sometimes you see a deck and you're just like, mwah, beauty. Beautiful. All right, we're going to play these at least. Probably the Abrade and the Paths as well. Just interact a little bit. Modern. It's the Tallow-Wisp list. I should know because it had the enchantment. Although I guess you could play those in normal spirits anyway. But I'm gonna assume that he looks more like this if I can find the list. Tallow is. Found it. This is a cool deck, by the way. The Tallowisp Spirits. I was thinking about showing you guys this deck at some point because it's playing Geist of Saint Traft and it's playing Steel the Godhead. Yeah, Archmage's Charm. This has to be that list. So 2 Disruptings, Archmages, bunch of Force Negations. What's their Graveyard Hate plan? Rest in peace. Makes sense. 2 Grafdigger's Cage as well. Well. That's a lot of hate to fight through. However, all that hate is hit by Wear Tear. Do we want to try to work our way through it? Do we want to try to work our way through the hate? They don't play Aether Vial, so like this Shenanigans might not do anything. Although there were Faithless Looting decks, we can kind of draw through that. Let's cut the bomb. I like Sword. Sculler might need to go. Could cut Ilharg. It's not really that kind of a matchup, right? We just kind of want the equipment or the gift. Maybe we don't want to cut this. This is tough. I don't know what I... It doesn't look like he's playing a lot of removal, by the way. There's like a couple of... There's like some on thin ice and a dismember out of the board, but let's cut the Givers. He doesn't have a ton of removal. That gives me enough room to squeeze in the first Wear Tear. Yeah, I think we try to fight. I feel like our graveyard stuff is pretty strong here. Cut one Courier, play the other Wear Tear. Shenanigans. Yeah, so we've brought in the... Plus, like, those creatures are weaker when we're bringing in Anger, right? Like, we don't really want them at the same time. There is some confusion in Standard between gift tokens and eternalized tokens. Eternalized tokens had no CMC. This is a pure cloned copy. Thank you, Shade. Appreciate you. Sounds fine. It's not amazing. It doesn't fight over hate all that well, but it's got our colors. No, opponent's deck is super spicy. It's playing a... Oh, wow, we just draw it like a boss. Like a boss. What do we get here? Probably Godless Shrine. Well, no, Anger is in. Let's get Sacred Foundry. Yeah, we put Anger the Gods in our deck. Opt. Was that in the other build? Yes. Yeah, it's almost card for card, this list. Oh, he does have 4 paths. Never mind. Yeah, I like this list a lot. 4 path, 4 on thin ice. This is totally something I would be playing right now. My opponent's list. Yeah, there's the rip. That's fine. I think I might even just go ahead and take it out now. Might get hit by a Force Negation. Like we might get hit by Force or Shoal here. It's possible. But not too likely. Okay, now we get to Sculler. Or do we want to just Engineer? Oh, let's Sculler. We'll Sculler. It's nice when your opponent's list is in front of you, right, while you play. Alright, Charm. He did have Force Negation. He just didn't want to fight over it. Fair enough, opponent. Probably just take his Spellcaller. Yeah, the Archmage's Charm is cool. Maybe that's what I should have taken. That is a lot of value. So what do we really want to resolve? We actually really want to resolve this Faithless Looting, right? Because my hand's kind of garbage. So why don't we lead Engineer, see if he bites? Probably not. Maybe he does. No, couldn't fight over it. It was their turn. Ah, truth. He probably would have fought then. You're right. Yeah, I'm still getting used to the templating on Force. I apologize, Shade. You're absolutely right. He could not have Force there. Cool. Have another red source, believe it or not. Dump the Unburial Rights. Honestly, this is a lot of lands. We keep the Citadel because we have another Engineer. The Gate will dump the Unburial Rights anyway. I think we dump these two. I'm gonna keep Engineer, Gate, Citadel. Yeah, the exile on it actually comes up more than you might think on force negation. I don't really want to get this gate to the afterlife countered with this hardcast force. Ooh, we just drew anger. I don't know if I want to deploy the engineer. Also, I don't yet have something that I want to cheat to play. Well, I could get sword and exchange citadel for sword. And that's some value that pervades through anger. Feels awkward to cast this when I have the anger, but why don't we try to set up sword? Now, I could get Shroom, right? But here's the problem. What's the problem? Well, we don't have, like, the thing that Shroom cheats into play yet, right? Be a different story if I... well, the other Goblin Engineer didn't resolve, right? If I can go Goblin Engineer, it's a different story. So yeah, I'm going to bin the sword pretty easily. And that's fine. Like, we want Goblin Engineer to have all those different modes, right? If I can reanimate the big stuff, we want to do the big stuff. And I could have given us something to Embargo Rights, right? This is probably draw 2. Yeah, Archmage's Charm is sweet if you can pull it off. These Ghost Quarters seem a bit greedy, though. Was that in the original build? Yeah, it was on 2 Ghost Quarters. That seems so greedy in a Charm deck, though. But fair enough. I'm not the deck builder. I'm just doing the things. Alright, so I can put sword into play. Alright, let's float. Hang on. Slap this on the Sculler. Just make him like a real juicy target for our opponent. Oh man, he is going to be a very juicy target for our opponent to path. Too big downside, too small upside. If this gets path though, like, we could honestly benefit from the mana. Also, Sculler lives through anger now. Oh wow, that resolved? Holy Hera, Batman. And we get to play Sunbaked? Sword. Sword, guys. It's sword. We're doing like legacy things here, man. It's crazy. Look at us. Look at us with this Sword of Fire Ice. Oh, that's pretty good. They're at 5, though. Is it a problem that we have our opponent's list in front of us? Yes and no. I mean, that's one of the benefits of, like, kind of building your own thing, right? I mean, it's not a... Oh, wow, they play Logic Knot? Okay, good to know. Spicy. Do we just crack this canyon? Do we want to just draw a card? I go to 9. I'll draw a card. Vantage, not great here. Gift, okay. Cryptic tap my team. List wasn't playing Cryptic. Could have a path though. Could have another Rattle Chains. Good games. Wow. It's grindy. Alright, we win another. We get back half of our buy-in. We win 2 more. We get our full buy-in and a chest. Despite the nonsense. This deck's pretty cool though. This deck definitely does it for me. I'm sure it needs mega tuning. It needs a lot of tuning. Like, the Ilharg shouldn't be here probably. I think if I was to rebrew this, it'd look a little different. It probably, the sideboard would be quite different too. I think it would be, I actually don't mind this part of the deck. I don't like this. Actually don't even really like the gate either. those two would probably just straight up be paths. I think we just keep it cut and dry. There you go. Easy. See how hard that was, chat? It was easy. And now it's a deck. Kidding. I'm sure there's many, many more slots that need to change, but for starters, I think it should have 2-path main, 2-path side. Alright, a little awkward, no black source, but it's got Gob Engineer with a Citadel. It's got turn 1 Giver. Let's give this a shot. If we can't keep this kind of a hand, then what are we doing? Also, I think I want to cut 1 Darksteel. I think we like the first one a lot since we're an Engineer deck. The second one hurts us a lot. Urborg is nice because it fixes you into Obsidat, or we could play the black-white filter land. It helps us cast what? Obsidat helps us cast Campbell. It doesn't help us cast Anger the Gods, though. We'll figure out what that land is in a bit. So, Giver of Runes A. Me too. Me too, opponent. Me too. Eldrazi? Oh, Displacer. Yeah, he's playing Displacer. Eldrazi Displacer. It's probably Thalia. Could be Leonin. If it's Leonin, I'd like to be able to kill it, but I can't. Giver of Runes. Can just kill the Giver if we draw Black Source. Yeah, more likely I'm probably just playing these Bowmats feel awful. They're just going to get cracked to the Goblin Engineer, aren't they? Why don't we go ahead and get this Goblin Engineer in play? We can protect it. I'm terrified if the opponent just goes Ghost Quarter here. It's very likely that they... Or, it's possible that they do. Also, I'm misplaying like a beast. What was the play we were actually supposed to do there, chat? Let's get some punt in the chat. Didn't pay for Arbiter. Couldn't pay for Arbiter. Oh, that's new. You blew it. You blew it. That's cool. Oh, man. And they had the Ghost Quarter. Whew. 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 All right. Well, they don't know about the Black Splash. That was sad. He's going to be on Aether Vial, right? That was legitimately sad. That made me sad a little bit, chat. It's fine. It's fine. It's going to be okay. So these feel really bad. These just will never get through in this matchup. They're going to come out. Revoker can come in. Yeah, that was sad. A Braid. We're cutting Ilharg from the future build, so we might as well cut it now just so we get a feel for how the deck functions, or should more accurately function in the future. Wish we had more paths here. We're thinking 4 paths in the future, right? Yeah. That was sad. That was a sad, sad turn, chat. That was, we do quite a bit of searching, so those arbiters are going to be a pain. Right? Yeah, engineer. Well, engineer does our searching, right? Okay. Could just play the Wear Tears. These probably have targets. Usually you'll have targets against my opponent's deck. We're also slimming the Gate to the Afterlife from future builds too, aren't we? We're just trying to go straight to the God Pharaoh's Gift. So I think that's a fine change. We'll probably cut 1 Trash for Treasure. I like cutting a Trash for Treasure, especially since we just cut a bunch of Couriers. So the Engineers are going to have a much harder time without a lot of those artifacts, right? But this build still has 2 Darksteel Citadel, so I don't want to cut Engineer. I think future builds of this deck will respect and have more food for the Engineer. Like maybe our removal suite should be a little bit different. Maybe instead of a bunch of paths, maybe we should do a split of Spellbomb and Path. Maybe that's what we should be doing. Does the Spellbombs play really nicely with Engineer because you still draw the card when you sacrifice them? And maybe we want to do that instead with those extra card slots. Pyrites. Like play like Niles and Pyrites, because these both... Oh, no, wait. Pyrite doesn't have the right templating for... Spellbomb does. Yeah, we'll still play those 2-path. I also think the Bowmat idea just hasn't been panning out like I wanted it to. Thought these were a cool idea. I'm less enthused by them now. So why don't we just play the suite of Spellbomb? We're not even doing it just to get the... Because we did get got by Hogak round 1. It's not really so much for that. It's we need cards that... when we crack them to the engineer, we don't go down a card. I think that's been really tough for us. We could even play some number of, star? We could play like a couple chromatic star. Yeah, because star, much like Spellbomb, has a similar templating where if it goes in the graveyard, you draw a card. So I think that's what we want to do. Keep. Yeah, I'm just explaining my thoughts out loud as we build and brew this deck tonight. Maybe we'll jam another league with it. Maybe we won't. I know that the modern event is live. Holy crap! Real quick, guys. Anybody that's here in my chat channel at the moment, because isn't there that really big... Not that I'm trying to scare you away and tell you to go to play the modern. What about Ichor Wellspring? Ichor Wellspring's good with Engineer as well. Like, if you play, like, 2 Wellspring, they kind of loop. You can do a loop with them. It's quite good with Engineer. We've thought about doing that before with Engineer. You can play, like, a couple of these. But it's really slow and really grindy. Like, we're already pretty slow and grindy. I mean, maybe, like, 1,000,000 spell bombs isn't, like, the solution either, you know? I don't know. I like where this is going, though, in theory. Like, I like that this is finally, in theory, a deck that's using both sides of Engineer, right? We're using it as an entomb, but we're also using it as just, like, go grab, like, bullets. Well, not really bullets in the main board anymore. Well, there's a Sculler. Graveyard hate, hand hate, board state, right? Those are, like, the 3 different zones of Modern, right? Hand, graveyard, board state. What about Servo Schematic? Yeah, Schematic could be cool too. I'm trying to play like cheaper stuff with the Engineer though. In my mind. Could like main deck the Damping Sphere if you wanted to like beat Tron and combo at the same time with 1 card. That might be worthy. Worth considering. A hedge. Worth considering. So I definitely think we're too slow, certainly, to beat Tron, and absolutely too slow to like beat Storm and Phoenix, right? So it might be a nice hedge that we partake in. Alright, so we got the Engineer. Probably still play Blackcleave. Knew there was going to be Aether Vial. We knew it, chat. We knew it. We just go get Sword, right? We don't get fancy here. I think we just go get Sword. We have another Engineer, but because of the ability to get Sword going as early as next turn if we just protect this Engineer. I know we have a backup Engineer, but let's just protect it. I know, this is no Stoneforge Mystic. I know, chat, I know. It's like going through the graveyard, I have to sacrifice something else. Like, it's a very different card. Path. Another white source, I think. Oh, another Giver. So let's return the Sword. Tap Sword. I can either cast another Engineer or I can cast Giver. It's probably correct to just cast Giver, isn't it? I mean, we could move the sword to engineer as well. It's a little greedy, isn't it? Yeah, we're either casting the other engineer or we're casting giver. It's got to be giver, right? Because then this engineer should, yeah, it's giver. Sure, I could cast the engineer. I also don't know what I want. Is the other problem? I guess maybe I'd have tutored spell. Maybe I should have tutored up Sculler here. It's probably Clue Maker. Yeah, I probably could have also considered going with engineer, right? If he has another path, it's not like. I mean, I kind of wanted a creature in play though. Like if he paths one, I mean he'll wait to path until we choose what we're equipping though. But he needs to path now. It's not like he's gonna get to wait, right? So we're gonna give this pro white. It's actually not another basic for us. They're both in my hand. We drew them naturally. So that's just happenstance. We got pro everything, right? Protection from everything. Might as well kill off the inspector. Brutality. I think I'm just going to deploy this other engineer, to be perfectly honest with you, chat. What do we get? What do I want? We're doing the fair deck thing, right? We don't have any reanimate spells, otherwise I'd consider some of these others. I mean, Revoker on Aether Vial is nice when they have, like, no mana. Actually, earlier I almost considered going for Revoker, but this would be a nice line. Like, we'll get to Brutality if they have, like, even another path. We'll get to take it. Maybe he's going to play a creature, I get to kill it. Oh, wow. Okay. Deputy, that's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate, actually. So in like kind of a weird, funny, convoluted way, we gave him access to that play because we played one goblin that didn't have protection from the sword. It's okay. We'll find some gas off this. Wrong land. We'll find some gas off this looting, I hope. All hope is not lost. So we're going to dump these two. Redraw. Guess I could have looted again there. Alright, kick it back. That's sad. We got. I wasn't thinking about Deputy. I should have been. Should have been thinking about Deputy. It's a pretty popular card at the moment. It explains his blue splash. Linvala's also been popular in people's sideboards because you can't cast Hogak through Linvala. It's kind of cool to see that card finally getting usage. Everybody was really excited about that card. Now I wish I'd gotten the other, right? Shroom. Bad Skull. Doesn't quite do it. It's a giver. We're not going to need this much vengeance, like, ever, right? We're happy with one. Play giver. Giver can wear the sword. I mean, it's not the worst draw in the world. I think we're going to lose this, though, chat. I mean, if opponent has one land, that means they have a ton of gas. Yeah, so he's blue splash raining through here, so he's got blue splash for things like Reflector Mage, blue for things like Deputy, Mist Caller. It's weird. Wonder what this is for. I guess it's like technology for Gorios, I guess. It's like a very... I'm trying to think what else this stops in Modern besides specifically Goryo's Vengeance and maybe Breach. I guess if the Neoform deck was to have an uptick, this would be a cool thing to be doing. Oh, we've certainly lost this chat. I'm not gonna get back down onto the table fast enough. The tempo loss from the deputy was a lot for us. I mean, I can cast this batter skull. It's gonna hurt though because we have yeah. Well, I hope he doesn't have an answer for it. Oh, Godless Shrine. I think so. We got Obsdats to cast. Miss Caller says non-token creature. Does he really have something here? Like Flicker Wisp, maybe? Could have just another Reflector Mage. Yeah, so it looks like he has. That is just too bad, chat. Let's see, we get to play Giver next turn. Next turn is like Brutality, pay the extra, Flicker Wisp, drain, gain life. Equip Giver with Sword. Can I do all that? Giver, pay the extra on Brutality to kill the Flicker Wisp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think we're just dead, chat. Because even if we're dead to the Flicker, even if I was able to like equip the Giver. This is a good game though. I mean, it's neat to see some of these new cards in action, right? Like Unsettled Mariner ability being relevant. I can't quite do all the things I need to, right? Yeah. I can't even do that, can I? Because I have to target the opponent. Wow. Good games. No, Unsettled is very sweet. We've established that Mariner's going to get played in several lists. You could see it in Spirits. You could see it in Humans. All right, if we win one more, we do get to walk away with some pity points, which I want. I want them. I want them, chat. So yeah, if I was to rebrew this list, I think it would be Bombs and Stars. So try to hedge a little bit more for beating some of the degenerate decks. The help of Spellbomb. It's good for Engineer. Helps him out. I might cut a Trash. We didn't get to like see it in action even once. Maybe this is a sideboard card. Like this has not felt great either. Like it just dies a lot game one, it seems. I guess it's breaking up though removal that would otherwise hit like Obsdat, so maybe we do want it. Maybe I only play 2 Obs. Yay for pity points. Maybe I only play 1 Godo, because like, I feel like Obsdat in a lot of spots is still juicier. Don't get me wrong, I like the Batterskull being in the deck, so that there's like, because I don't really want to play 3 gifts, so I like that Shroom has something else to reanimate. But like, if we draw the Batterskull, then Godo does nothing. Like, maybe we should only play a fun of him. It's a tough call. Alright, maybe this will be better. Oh, you know what? This needs 21st land, though, before we do that. Before we add another just generic thing to crack to the engineers. It was a fun list, though. I mean, I think that this was a cool concept. Okay, so we can get the Giver and the Bowmat out, and then we can dump the Obsdat. We don't mind dumping the Batterskull either. We're not probably going to make enough land drops to hardcast that. That's not the plan. Maybe we'll reanimate this to Shroom at some point. We'll see. Or not. But regardless, we want to dump these and maybe get into some new cards. All right, so rematch. We get to try again. Probably just going to lose to Hogak. Okay, there's Trash for Treasure, though. So hold up. Trash for Treasure. Can't block this time because Giver. I mean, he could. He can block, like, crack his Neonate. Like, why would you block and let me just protect this? The problem is I want to keep the trash for treasure, but I want to dump the Batter Skull. So this is where like the Bowmat Courier kind of doesn't quite work. If we already have the spell, like I probably still need to dump this hand. Dump this hand and draw into the Sorry. I think we're just dead here, chat. I think we just died. Think we just died. Him getting that altered dimension play is terrifying. Sorry, my brother's texting me. Give me a sec, guys. I know. I hate texting on stream. I know. It's the worst thing ever. But pull up the deck list. But it's important. It's about his wedding. All right, got it. So, we drew Sculler. Maybe that disrupts a little bit of what he's doing. Would I crack the rest of this hand away? Maybe finally. That would be 2 fresh cards on the Bowmat. Well, let's see what he's working with first. I appreciate you guys being patient there. I'm sorry. I know. Unless it's like very important, I tend to not touch the phone during streams. I hope you guys recognize that. For good reason. Oh, thanks for that follow. For good reason. Okay, so he's going to crack that. Letting me see some more cards, I presume. I could have cracked the Bowmat Courier in response to that. I think I'll just exile this Vengevine, right? Well, he doesn't really care about this Vengevine. Wait, what did he dump instead? Oh, yeah, he dumped Bridge from Below. I guess I take the Bloodghast, actually. Hard to say. Yeah, we're going to get to exile this Bridge from Below. Like, when do we want to do it, I guess, is also another question. Like, timing is pretty important when it comes to actually cracking the Bowmat, as far as Bridge from Below goes. And again, like, this is kind of... We didn't get to really see this in action against the... Maybe this is actually kind of cool technology. I mean, obviously, this is a better way to fight over Hogak, but, like, creatures that sacrifice themselves works too. I think I just want to dump this hand, guys. Gets rid of his Bridge from Below. We put the Obsidat where we want him. There's Agorio's Vengeance. See, now the deck's doing the thing. Of course the deck's doing the things now that we're fighting for pity points. Like, of course. Of course. Actually, we could get the Batterskull back if I hit Shroom. Let's go for that greed. Would that actually be better, though, than just... It probably wouldn't be better than just getting the Obsidat, right? Because Obsidat's probably going to kill faster. Yeah, pity points are points. You're very true on that, Melfina. Honestly, I think I should just punch the Obsidat through. Evil Tribble, 3 months of Twitch Prime. Tribble, thank you for that. Welcome back to the show. This one's yours, not Tyler's this time. Well, he'll get the next sub, right? We'll have him guest star again. He can get the next sub. Thank you so much, Evil Tribble, for the support. I'm going to go ahead and open a chest in your honor. Thank you for the support. You guys might know that some of the other players on our team, I think there's some other streamers that do it too now, open a chesty anytime somebody subs or resubs. I save them for that purpose. Sure, I could crack them. Ooh, redirect. That's a fun oldie. That's an oldie but a goodie. This is Jace talking to your favorite, Jade Garrick. Gaduk. Some 25 play points. That's more than you usually see in these chests. Thank you for the play points, Evil Tribble. Alright, so we're going to stack these the proper way. Could still lose to my opponent's deck, by the way. That's how powerful the Hogak deck is sometimes. Like, I could still lose. Like, yes, their hand looks like garbage. They could draw, like, a Faithful Suiting here and they're back in the game. But, like, that's life. Use them on a cheesy mono deck. Isn't this cheesy enough for you? We're trying to adjust this. This probably should be a filter land. There's no filter land that does both Obsidat and Anger. We could play, what's that one land that I kind of like? Reflecting Pool. It's a little weird to play, though, in a 21 land deck. I also don't think, I don't know if this deck should be 21 lands. I like Reflecting Pool, though. Matches our Bloodstained Mire. Alright, here we go. That was not a hit. Oh, wow, this guy's on Collector Brutality. That's spicy. Alright, so opponent's going to leyline us, right? We should at least play these just for that purpose. Are we actually going to beat Hogak this time? That'd be sweet. We might actually do the things. This stops the combo. I don't think I want anything else, though. Braid is, like, maybe too deep. Wear Tear is probably where it's at. Things that we cut. Courier probably... I know it worked that game. This guy normally won't get through. Oh, wait, no, he exiles Bridges. We want him. Yeah, we want him. Gate can go. We're cutting it from future builds anyway. Same for Ilharg. I think Sword of Fire and Ice is just too weak in general in the matchup. Maybe we cut some Godos. Maybe like Godo Batterskull is just too weak. Maybe Batterskull's too weak. Maybe it's Godfarrow's Gift or nothing. Two more cuts. Sculler's pretty weak. Spellbomb stays for obvious reasons. Maybe I cut a trash. Maybe cut one trash. Like we cut one of the trash reanimate targets anyway. Cut one trash. Thoughts on Phyrexian Metamorph? You can buy it back with gift, make a second gift, or you could go infinite with Shroom. I like the idea of going infinite, USA. I like the way you're thinking. I like the way your noggin is thinking. We're gonna look for Graveyard Hate. Well, this at least. These eventually are Graveyard Hate. This gets rid of his bridges. I'm going to bottom this greedily looking for drawing like Anger or Hate naturally. Although if I don't have third land, I can't cast Anger anyway. But I'm going to try to draw to the things. Try to draw to the things. Opponent's making me want to show you guys my take on... Going infinite doesn't do anything, but you see, I'm actually gonna shock in this Giver. And I think we might just be bow matting next turn to take out this bridge from below. I can't crack the bow mat courier if I play it turn 1 there. Although if we want to just get more cards underneath of it, that's certainly a reason to do so. Oh, put another bridge in that graveyard, please. Let's get rid of 2 of them. Don't put any blood guests in the yard, though. Uh-oh. That is a Hogak. Opponent is at 14. That is probably a Hogak coming back if I don't hit Graveyard Hate right here, which I didn't. At least I could take out a bridge. But, yeah. We're in trouble. I also don't want to dump my hand here just to get this bridge, but, like, I probably have to, as bad as that sounds, chat. I probably have to attack and get rid of my hand and take out this bridge from below. I don't have to do it immediately, though, right? Because I can give it pro-black if he tries to block. Well, we don't want it. We don't want him to potentially dump this supplier. Although, if the supplier's in the bin, he'd have to have double creature in hand, which he might not. We're just giving it up to my opponent to stack the triggers properly and still end up with the token is the problem. Yeah, I think I have to try to get rid of this bridge. I hate the idea of dumping this hand just to get rid of this one bridge, but like that might be that edge we're going for. Edge. Yeah, right. If only because like I hate to put this in the bin, but like we want to take him off creatures for the Hogak. I don't know what we're supposed to do here, chat. Obviously, I think we're just lost. My opponent put like a ton of cards in the yard. That's what they do. What's the other line? I just give it pro black, it gets through. We deal a little bit of damage. Just relevant. Opponent put himself to 14 from fetch shocking. Next turn we see what he does. Maybe we have the opportunity to snag the bridge at an opportune moment. Hold out for more bridges? Yeah. I mean, again, I hate dumping this hand because like none of it's like we're usually happy to activate Courier if these are like reanimation targets. None of these are reanimation targets. They're like engineers and such. This is probably just Gravecrawler. Like the problem with like letting the supplier stay in play. Well, there was no way I could have removed the supplier but also taken out the bridge. Right, if opponent stacked his triggers properly, there's nothing we can do about it. He's going to attack. Okay. We do have Crypt in the deck, but it takes a whole turn for the engineer to do the thing. Oh wow, feeder. Maybe I'm supposed to crack the Bomat Courier right there. Okay, he's doing the Stitcher Supplier trigger first, so we'll do that first. Because there might have been another bridge for us to snag. Alright. Sorry, hand. So we're going to get random off the top. We're going to get rid of that bridge from below. Yeah, we've lost this. Look at all this food. We draw a Sunbaked. Yeah, we've lost this. That's okay. There's a third game to be played. It's going to be Vengevine, Gravecrawler, Hogak, Board State, and I don't know, unless I was playing like Ensnaring Bridge, which I've thought about because we can kill with the Obsdat Drain. I've thought about maybe that's like the technology that this deck wants. Ensnaring Bridge. And maybe like an Ensnaring Bridge in the 75 would be good because we can just kill with Obsdat Drain. That's very true. I don't know if it would be main deck or sideboard. I know Bridge seems weird in this deck that's like got all this stuff, but like we can just drain them out. I know it seems counterintuitive, but it's usually a good tutor target to have. Like it certainly would have maybe saved us there. Like if we, okay, think about it this way, chat. If we had Ensnaring Bridge in the version of the deck we're playing in the league right now, that's what we would have tutored for there. Maybe we'll sideboard the Damping Sphere. Like that's what we would have tutored for, 100%. And then we would have just waited until we drew Obsdat. And at that point, we probably would bring in the Spellskite to try to protect, like the bridge, for example. So like he'd have to draw double artifact removal before we draw first Obsdat and Drain. And like a lot of our creatures are smaller too, so like maybe we can get through here and there. Probably not, because we don't have anything that flies over. Bridge doesn't save you versus the GAC deck, though. Well, we'd have to shut off their combo, right? So it's like, it's not... I mean, I'm not saying it's specifically for Hogak, right? Hogak match isn't over, by the way. We have one more game to go. Let's run it back. One more game to go. Yeah, I mean, I think that between, like, Revoker and all this artifact hate we have, I think that we could fight over that, potentially. I will keep this hand. Might have looting, might have Leyline, but what are you going to do? Oh, you didn't have it. Sweet. Let's not take 1,000,000 off of our mana base. Why don't we get basic Mountain here? I think that's fine. Like, the next land could be Godless Shrine. There's Wear Tear. Let's dump. Do you dump the God Pharaohs? I'd probably dump one of each piece. Yeah, we'll dump one of each. See, now I'm wishing maybe we had the other trash for treasure in right now. Maybe I'm not supposed to ever cut. Like maybe 2 is the sweet spot for the deck. Maybe. It's a Vengevine. I just drew the Godless Shrine. Alright, so let's looting again. Well, there's trash for treasure. Huh. Drew the trash for treasure. Need an artifact. Not sure if we have enough of them. Actually, we left in the bow mat, so it's about as many artifacts as we had in the main deck of the original build anyway. There's 2 citadels in this version here, so maybe we'll hit it. I'm worried we're not going to hit it in time. I'm worried we're... No, we wish this was a vengeance. Yeah, it does. It's not the most wonderful synergy. I did notice that about the other guy's Esper build of this list as well. I wish we had like more. Hear me out. I wish we had like other abilities that we. Okay, so he gets to take either this or this. He's probably gonna take the trash for treasure. I kind of wish we had other creatures with other affixes, like other abilities. Like that's the problem, I guess, with the whole concept is this might just be too much fun and just in general slow for modern. I think that it is. This is a fun idea to play though. I mean, just because somebody else got a 5-0 with a 4-1 list of some wonderful nonsense doesn't mean that we're going to. We have anger in the deck. Maybe I should just play at the inspiring vantage. Looting. Courier Obsidat. Interesting. Well, I could keep all the lands and pretend and just try to hardcast this. It seems wrong. I could dump the Obsidat and 1 land. Keep the Obsidat and 2 lands and dump these, but then we can't hit Altar if he has it. I like keeping this for Altar. I kind of like keeping the bow mat too. Why don't we dump Obs and land? No, it's a cool deck. It's I think it'll be a while before it's tuned to do like what we want it to do. Like I love the idea of using both sides of the Goblin Engineer, but much like that red prison deck we were playing around with a while ago, trying to place a number of trash for treasure, it's just a very tough deck to cobble together. That might still be the better shell where we were playing a red prison deck that was playing both sides of Goblin Engineer. I don't even remember what we called it. Might have just been like Goblin Engineer Red. Yeah. So like I don't even know if we played this version. I don't think we did. I think we just brewed it. But this might be a better home for trying to pull off both sides of Goblin Engineer. This one actually was running 3 trash for treasure. I think that's wrong. Because there's no lootings in this deck. Let's play 2. Like 2, maybe 1. But this one was just like your typical Pyro Prison, like Ritz, Simians, Engineer, bunch of tutor targets, Karn, bunch of tutor targets. Yeah. Oh, we're very dead, chat. No Tormod's Crypt from us. Zahogak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Attack us with Vengevine. Yep. Like, that's the thing is, like, even if I found a reanimate spell, like, 1 Obsidat can't hold off this. This is where I'd need Ensnaring Bridge. Good games, though. We almost got our prize back with this meme. I do not regret playing it at all, though. It was a fun experiment. Another take on trying to see if we could incorporate a deck that plays both sides of Engineer. I think in the end, this is probably a better shell to be doing that. And then here I was considering reanimating like Staff or Empyrean. Or you could play like Leviathan. Like there are other big scary artifacts you could be reanimating in Modern. I like the idea of these because both of these are nice sitting behind a bridge, right? Like Platinum Empyrean makes us sort of invulnerable, depending on the matchup, right? And then the Staff of Nin, of course, if our life total isn't being attacked. What did I accidentally cut? This is a 59. Should be one more land, I think. Oh no, I cut a Trash or Treasure. It probably should still be another land, right? There's that one desert that exiles. That might be nice. Maybe one less Forgotten Cave as well. Maybe play like a couple of... I think I built this before the Hogak deck was really doing the things. Yeah, maybe like a couple Scavengers. Actually, I don't even know if I like that much Forgotten. Also don't think I like this many Darksteels. Like, sure, we're an Engineer deck, but actually, no, we need the playset because I don't have many other artifacts. How many colorless lands is that? Probably too many, right? Because this is... How many red sources is that? 19 now? Yeah. Ruins, Just trying to see if we can eke out some more utility. I liked the fact that Forgotten Cave was utility, but also still a red source. And unless you have Simian Spirit draws, your first land can be a tap land anyway. Let's still play the Forgottens. I want to test that in Power Prison. This hasn't been in Modern before, so. But yeah, I think this might be the better shell. Like, just use Engineer as a prison piece tutor, right? Main board, he'll find everything from coding to Wellspring to... I think we were going to try to get 2 Wellsprings in here, so you could do the loop. That's a lot of Braid, for example. Maybe we play the second one. So we talked about the Wellspring loop, even in the current deck we're playing. This is probably the beginnings. I'm not going to say it is the better shell. This is probably the beginnings of a better shell for Engineer, utilizing the Trash for Treasure side. And like, it's not impossible to just get to 6 mana. Probably not going to be hard casting Empyrean, but this is probably a better meme. Yeah, it's got a pretty extensive Karn board. Most of the sideboard is the Karn board. It's 10 different choices for Karn. It's probably the better deck. Karn is ridiculous. Backed up by Quick Blood Moon and like Chalice and Bridge and stuff. Like, this is probably the better Engineer deck that we were working on. Not to save face and be like, oh, well, let's just forget that last awful league just happened, right? I had a couple other decks to share with you guys that are kind of in the works, although I would love to play that Talos deck. It's actually the only deck we beat tonight, though, right? With this nonsense, with the the Mardu nonsense. This deck, wonderful nonsense. Super cool deck. There was a 5-0 God Pharaoh's Gift deck. It was Esper, though. But I thought red might be better. I had an idea for like an Eldrazi list. Let me show you guys this one. Something else I was working on. I really like the synergy between Narset and Vendilion Click. Not that I'm saying this is the shell to do that. I started thinking about other creatures that or just other cards in Modern, that break parity on her ability. Right, so her, they can't draw more than one card each turn. The problem with the reason that Vendilion Click works so well is because when you use it on your opponent's turn, they're already drawing their card for the turn, so it doesn't give them an extra card, right? The issue with... Yeah, so the issue with... So yeah, they don't go up a card when it comes to Click and Narset. The problem with something like Thought Not Seer is that Thought Not Seer, they just, if they have a removal spell for it, they just need to remove it during our turn, right? So that's kind of where I decided to go back to the drawing board. Do you guys want to help me go to the drawing board? I thought of a few different shells. I mean, there's straight up control, sure. I mean, I really like that spirits list, but I just wish it had a little bit more oomph. Not that Narset really is the tool. Like, Narset seems to do best in what? She seems to do best in control, right? There was that weird Narset puzzle box deck we worked on as well. I'd love to re-explore that deck, but like make it better because it didn't quite do the things, right? It wasn't quite yeah, this deck. I think this deck was a really cool concept. I wish, since it has a playset of Narset, I wish it had been playing Vendilion Clicks. I think I ended up adding one to the sideboard. I kind of wish that was kind of more integral to the deck. It's like there are plenty of matchups where you can just play it, nab a card, block with it, play another one. Like I don't think we're in a spot in Modern where we really care about the fact that these are legendary all that much. So I feel like that might have been kind of a cool way to, maybe that's just like a sideboard plan, just play a bunch of clicks to pair with the Narsets. I mean, and maybe even then you don't play a playset. Like maybe it's like 3 just because that's a nice synergy. But this deck's already playing a lot of blue sources. How do we edit this? Let's work on this list, chat. So, it's just easier to edit decks, honestly, in Stream Decker than it is. Moto's a little slow and clunky. So first of all, this list I deemed that it was what? Not enough lands. When we played the League, that was our biggest issue. Was it just was not quite enough lands. I think we added a couple utility lands. I think we ended up adding Academy Ruins. And I think we actually played the tutor land that gains you life, the Inventors Fair. So we had a couple of lands. I know they're colorless. The deck didn't necessarily wasn't starved for blue. Like it's got a pretty healthy blue mana base. It was having trouble just making raw land drops, right? I think the Psy we ended up cutting. Like Urza was just so strong. Other than that, I don't want to cut much. Other than the Time Sieve was just completely unnecessary. Yeah, so it's got Puzzle Box Narset combo. This is a 60 that I'm happy with. And then the sideboard, I'd almost, instead of running like the random negate and such, I'd kind of rather just try to squeeze in more Vendilion Clicks. And I might even try to squeeze in a Vendilion Click in the main board over some number of Inquisition. Maybe we play like 3 Inquisition, 1 main deck, Vendilion Click. Maybe have 2 more on the board. Yeah, like this deck was close. Seriously, this deck was really close when we played it. It just got mana starved, like ever so slightly. Like there were a lot of games where we were just like 1 mana off here, 1 mana off there. This deck's really cool because it's like it's you're playing War Prison, but you've also got these like really powerful proactive plays. Like a lot of the games we just assembled Thopter Sword with no effort whatsoever, just because you're playing the playset of them each. Post board, some of these card choices are really sweet. I'm not sure why the deck wasn't considering Aether Grid in the beginning. That was something we added. I'm not a huge fan of these egos, but maybe we just didn't see them at work. Let me update that. Maybe we'll play this. And I do want to thank the Nobodies and Nola Gold. You guys might know Nola Gold as Jody Keith. They were instrumental in building this deck. I don't want to take any credit for building it. As far as like improving upon it, maybe we can do that. But yeah, I really liked the build of this deck. Really, like Needle and Spellbomb both neuter the Hogak deck somewhat. Like between Needle plus Bridge, you lock them out. A clutch Spellbomb. I love that it's got the puzzle box going on. Super cool technology. Yeah, it's a pretty robust deck. Like it looks pretty benign on the surface. You're like, oh, okay, it's got like a bunch of like tutor targets and it's like a word deck, whatever. Like no, like this deck comes out of the gates, and it really just felt like it needed just a little bit more mana. So maybe a couple of lands will fix that. I'm trying to think if we're really concerned about color, we could play, what's that land I seem to like in Whir? It's black on our turn because we're already playing a play set of Dark Slick. It's we could just play more fetch. It's it's black. I mean, maybe we don't want utility lands. Maybe we do just want more colored mana. River of Tears? Yeah, River, thank you. I like River. I don't know if I'd play 2. Yeah, blue, if we played a land, it's black. So, like, it's not always black when you want it to be black. Like, in order for it to be black for the Inquisition or black for the Thopter, black for these cards, you have to... I mean, we could just play a couple of more fetches, too. Let's see, Brooding Pool. Maybe we just play a couple more fetches. Blue fetches. I'd probably just play a couple more blue fetches, actually. I know that's boring, but it's probably correct. I like the idea of the utility lands, but on second thought, I think let's just make sure we always have blue or black. Can't spell tonight, Scalding Tarn. Play like a Tarn, play like a Flooded Strand or whatever. Doesn't really matter. Alright. Yeah, it probably should just be... It's a pretty colorful deck, right? We've got everything but white. Technically white. Yeah, we got everything but white. Green for decays and trophies. Decay for Stony Silence. Yeah. Alright. I'd love to play this deck again. It didn't quite do the things that we want it to do. I felt that the Psy was greedy. I'm not trying to say it's not powerful. I really want to test. Like, I want to see what decks are out there in Modern that we can test that besides, like, Blue Eye Control that can, like, pair Narset with Click. I mean, technically this deck could play both those cards, right? But it just wouldn't play it very well with a lot of creatures. The Chalice deck we were rocking as well could maybe benefit from that Wombo. Where is it? Blue-White Chalice. Yeah, Blue-White Chalice. That was a while back. We'll find it. Oh, we need to update the Blue-White Spirit-O-Wisp. See, we were doing this before this showed up, by the way. I'm not trying to say that we're the original. Like, I was doing some weird jank, and this was in Legacy. So, first of all, not even the same format. Arcanum Wings, conscription nonsense. Technically could do that in Modern too. It's probably not a good idea to do that. Yeah, we were trying to go all the way. Oh man, is that something I'd try to do? Lash Knife. Holy hell. This is a brew. Alteration. This is a brew. I'm sure it didn't quite work out the way we wanted it to, but this was, at some point in the past, probably a masterpiece, right, guys? Probably. But that was Legacy. But hey, now people are doing Tallowisp in Modern. I'd love to build on this deck, too. This deck seems, like, super cool. Like, I got excited when I saw it, because I was like, oh, yeah, like, we tried to brew on Tallowisp ourselves at some point. It was 4 months ago. Here it is, Chalice. Okay. So this deck, I think, could play more Narset. Yeah, I think this list could maybe play more Narset, and then we could, like, pair it with, and maybe, like, go up on our number of Vendilion Click. I think the double Flusterstorm is more fluster than I want to be on. And I think I might cut the third Simian. I think, yeah. We're going to make a couple of changes. Actually, I don't know if this looks anything like my current list anymore, does it? No, it does. Let's see if it loads. So I think I still think I like 3 Chalice. I'm going to play 2 Simian. I'm going to add a Narset. I like this split. I like this split. I like where a lot of the other numbers are. I'm going to try to squeeze in another Vendilion Click, which might mean cutting a Spellcaller. Quite frankly, I really want to run, what is it? I've seen a lot of people playing Gear Hulk lately. I think Gear Hulk is really cool. Cataclysmic. Seen a lot of Clismic. Let's cut a Fluster. I still want to test one Fluster. Let's cut a Spell Queller maybe. So maybe something more like this. Just I like to go back and tune this list a little bit here and there. It's kind of a pet deck of mine. It really is just blue-white plus a small Chalice package with a couple of Simians. But I like it. I like it a lot. It's kind of unassuming, and then you're just like, Terminus? Like, between the Terminus and the Chalices, it's actually got a pretty reasonable Hogak match. And you bring in a buttload of Rest of Pieces. Yeah. This deck was a lot of fun. I like maybe trying out the Cure Hulk. It's kind of a spicy sideboard card. Alright, anyway. So yeah, if we were to do Tal-O-Wisp, how would I do this? How would I do it? Nothing wrong with starting with their shell. Oh, not create. I was just going to do upload. Yeah, I think this deck's super cool. I wonder if it'd be worth... I mean, it's probably not worth, like, going big and, like, doing all sorts of nonsense. It's still tempting to do that, isn't it, chat? There's, like, some weird things about this deck, too. Like, there's Vistas and only 2 basics. There's, like, a lot of, like, little strange things about the deck that I wouldn't have done. I'm going to try to maybe... Fix is the wrong word. It's not that I'm trying to, like... fix, per se. Oh, actually, it does have 4 island. Never mind. I thought that was 1. Still don't like the Colonnade. Maybe I go greedy and I cut. It's a lot of Prismatic Vista. Huh. Moorland Haunt might be fun. It's colorless though. Well, maybe Ghost Quarter was 2 of for a reason. I always thought it was weird you have to play another Spirit after Tal-O-Wisp to get value. Yeah. I don't want to like pull this apart, but at the same time I do want to test the nonsense. I think the nonsense could be really spicy. At least the first piece of the Wombo you can pitch to Shoal or Force. See the piece of the combo? Can't remember. It's it's got Aura Swap on it. What's the other piece? We just looked at it and I can't even remember. We're looking at it in the legacy list. It's Wings of something. Wings of... Maybe one of you guys knows off the top of your head. Wings of... I'll just look. There might be some other spicy tutor targets that we had thought of back then. Now, the templating on Tal-O-Wisp is actually very... is 4 months ago? Should be down here. Is actually very specific. Thank you, Farlow. But, like, what other spicy targets do we have? Because, like, that's the thing. I was looking at that list. I'm not trying to say that their build of it, the deck's wrong at all. That's not what I'm saying. Also, they could be playing Cavern, maybe. Oh, well, they wanted to be playing Charm, so that's why. Okay. Or some of the... The problem is the templating. The original build of this we wanted to play, you literally can't run... you can't run an enchantment aura that has other targets other than creature. It must be. It's really weird. You can look up on Gather as well if you don't believe me. We were trying to play like the Tameo aura. There's like a couple of auras in Legacy, for example, that can enchant like artifact or creature. It literally has to template as saying, let me read the Talowisp aloud just so maybe that helps. Yeah, library for an enchant creature card. For whatever reason, the way that they templated Talowisp, it literally can only get specifically an enchantment that has enchant creature as an aura. It can't get what is that? It's like 3 mana. You can enchant planeswalkers or lands. It's got Tameo on it. So like for example, we thought you could do that with a card. You can't. So like we were originally testing some of that stuff in here. So this is a version that wasn't doing that anymore. Yeah, the Lash Knife was actually pretty spicy. Nobody played around it, as you might guess. If you control planes, you may tap an untapped creature instead. I mean, that's not modern legal though; it didn't get reprinted. But it might be nice to like play like Isolation. Is this a tutor target too? Enchants. No, this enchants the snow lands. That's not a tutor target. I'm surprised though it doesn't have like a pacifism, like even just a one of, just so you have something else to tutor for. Because like sometimes you don't have something worth stealing. I know he's playing a playset of Geist, but like sometimes you don't have something worth putting these on that will win the race. Like sometimes you do need to just like have a removal. So I'm gonna switch this up a little bit. Some of my kind of preference. So let's go back. So it's thank you Wings. Does it make sense? Like I think having a speed bump like that that's tutorable is too good to give up. Like I'm with you. We probably still play the playset of Path first, right? But I think trying out the nonsense and also giving the deck, let's see, Arcanum. So Arcanum and give me, what were we playing in the Legacy build? We were playing Isolation, Temporal. Is that just because it has Flash? Enchant creature has Shadow, prevent all damage that would be dealt by. Okay. Yeah, I think we literally played it just because it has Flash. Which, it would go great in this deck. I mean, if they're playing, like, Spell Snare and Logic Knot and Charm and stuff. It's like a one of that. Now I'm happy. Like, if I'm going to play Talowisp, I want to be able to get, like, a fistful of cards in certain matchups. Like, I wasn't all that excited that they only had, like, a couple targets. Like, yeah, I want to grab a fistful of cards. Now, maybe the reason they were on 2 Obsessions has to do with the disrupting shoals. I'm not really a huge fan of Shoal in the first place. I get that it's here for Talowisp synergy. I always just, in my mind, I always find that it just doesn't seem to pitch to the right CMC as much as I want it to, as badly as I want it to. It, like in a lot of the builds we've tried it in over the years, it just you never seem to have the right size for the thing that you're countering a lot of the time. I'd rather just cut that. I'd rather just cut them. I'd almost rather try Mariner in this list. Maybe not main deck, but Mariner sounds sweet to me. New decks are using Linvala if they're in the colors for it. Like, that's kind of the spice I'm into. I think this Leyline is weird. Am I thinking of the right card? Not Linvala. What is her name? The 2 mana stops them from casting Hogak creature. Also works against Tron. I know she's not a spirit, but she might be like a nice sideboard hate bear. Let's try Mariner. I like Mariner. What's the full name of that card? It's Unsettled Mariner. We actually played against it tonight, and it was quite good. Yeah, Mariner's pretty sweet. Yeah, I think Mariner would be good. I don't know how many Mariners, but I think Mariner's good. I don't know if I want this many Geist draft. I know that that's what we want to put Steel on. I get it. I get it. It's still legendary. I think I want 3. I don't know why we're not loading up on Queller. That seems strange to me. Give me like second Mariner. Okay. And now this is starting to look like a little bit more like what I'd like to play. This playset of Hallowed Fountain seems strange to me. Wouldn't we just rather have the fourth? Like, when are we going to 4 mana? Like, why not just play the fourth Sea Chrome? Like, your curve is set below. I don't see any reason to not play the fourth Sea Chrome, personally. Like this, you're just taking a lot of unnecessary damage here. I mean, I'm fine maybe not playing Cavern of Souls, I suppose. Just for the sake of, like, Arch. I feel like we're bending over backwards for this card. Like, same with the Logic Knot. You know? I mean, don't get me wrong, this is a powerful card, but I still think we're bending over backwards for it. Not like I almost would prefer a slightly more traditional build of spirits. Now the problem with Tallowisp is it doesn't get value off of Aether Vial. I wonder if there was. I mean, they're printing a lot more spirits. I'd also like to hedge. I'd like to be playing the Exile, the Bishop. I can't think of the name of these cards off the top of my head. We're going to actually lean on Moto a little bit. I'm sitting here like, oh, we don't need Magic Online to build. But I actually kind of like being able to search text. Remorseful. There we go. Yeah, like Remorseful Clerics. Like I like hedging in that direction. I'm not that excited about bending over backwards for this card when it's not even, like, it's good, but cool. Now the deck is like a lot happier with us. Nice. Then we can stop this nonsense. We can play like Cavern. We can play good lands. And now we can play like the Moorland Haunt. Yeah, now we're talking. And now I don't feel. I still felt weird about these Ghost Quarters. I don't even know if I want Ghost Quarter. I might still rather have Field of Ruin. Maybe it's fine. I still kind of prefer Field of Ruin. That's 24 lands. Probably still too many. Oh, we're not that desperate for basic island anymore. Maybe cut one here, cut a Vista. I also don't think I like this much force main. If we're going to mess around with force, why don't we play a split? I mean, I get it. They were playing that draw two, instant draw two to try to combat the card disadvantage a little bit, but like this also lets us be a little bit less blue in the main deck, right? We just added some more white cards, some non-blue cards here as well. Yeah. Also, like we're not playing some of the best spirits either, right? Like we're not playing Lord. It's weird that we're not playing the Lords, to me. I mean, we don't have to play 4. I mean, I get that, one Lord plus the other, that was like old school, like what you did with, collective company, but like at the same time, I think I still want some number of that. Yeah, Drog Skull. If I can spell it right. Yeah, like some number of captains makes sense to me. Now, if you really want to be on counter magic in addition to Queller, like why don't we just play like Remand? These ops seem weird too. Why don't we just play Remand? And I'm not necessarily looking for you guys to like nod your head and be like, oh, I agree, like Bruce By, absolutely, like so far, spot on. Like, no, I'm not necessarily looking for you guys to like agree with me. I mean, these stack, like, could almost like, well, I still think we'd like the Anthem on Captain. Still, I think we like that a lot. Like, this list also wasn't bothering with the one drop spirit, which was a little strange to me. I feel like you normally really like him. Wanderer? I've always felt that I like Wanderer. Like, this guy races really nicely because you're pumping him once or twice every turn. I felt that Wanderer is like where you want to be. There are a lot of decisions that this build like made that were kind of, I guess, strange to me. Not that they're wrong. Let's cut a remand. Let's cut another remand. I kind of prefer this. I mean, I get why we're not playing Aether Vial because we want to tutor for these. I get that, I suppose. Okay. Cage, Ice, Veto, Rip, Dismember. We really need Dismember. 4 path, 4 on thin ice. I think this is overkill. One more force. What spirit's bad against? Sweepers. What's the name of the spirit that sacrifices itself? It's not sacrificial spirit. Spirit. Indestructible. Selfless. Yeah, it's selfless. There we go. We got this. See, I still don't even know if I like a third force. I think I just like a couple of forces. Veto. Maybe, now we're playing like quite a bit more creatures. Maybe we even play, what is it? Unified Will? Maybe play like a Will. Surprised there's no Stony Silence. That's weird to me too. Could you even consider like Damping Sphere, perhaps? There's a lot of that card. And like Selfless Spirit could also be like, you could shove it in the main deck. There's a lot of Grave Hate. Cage. Rest. Seems like overkill. About a 2-2 split. Move one of these to the main board somehow. Alright, what about something more like this, chat? I'm trying to think of something bad to say. Oh no, this is a meme. This is a total meme. I don't think it looks good. I think this is still really greedy and not a good deck, but like I still think I'd have a blast playing it. Farlow, like I think we'd still like have a lot of fun playing something like this. I like having toolboxes. Like we've established this. Like anytime I have the opportunity to brew some aspect of a deck with like a toolbox, I get all excited. Even when the toolbox is as bad as like a 2-piece combo, a pacifism essentially. This one's super cool. And like this, like what? Who cares about this? But deck doesn't have Garrick. It's got a ton of removal, right? You got a bunch of paths, and then you can bring in these too if sorcery speed removal is good enough. It's a lot of removal. How's our blue count for those 2 force? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. It's fine. This deck can totally support a couple of force negation if we want it to. Like in these spirits decks, I even like getting a little bit greedy. Call me crazy. Hang on. I know you like to, chat. Call me crazy. I'm going to cut the fourth on thin ice. I'm going to play this card. I'm going to play Settle. I'm going to play a Settle the Wreckage. Oh, I just did. Would it be weird to play something like Gideon Blackblade? Probably. I'm just trying to think if there's like a planeswalker that like makes any sort of sense with this deck. There's Sarah, right? Because these all fly. Sarah. You could play Sarah. That's funny. Probably not. Although she is a worship. Worship plus these hexproof threats is kind of cool. But probably not. At that point, we're probably going too deep. You guys know me though. I like going a little deep, but I think swapping it on the thin ice for like a Settle could be spicy. Probably not going to play Planeswalkers. The Bruce Spy edition. No, I'm just going to say Conscription. I know it would take some time to like tutor all those pieces up, right? Like we'd have to get 2 Talowisp triggers, right? Unless you drew one of the pieces naturally, but I would invest 5 mana to have Annihilator 2 trample. I think that's totally reasonable. I know it's going to get pulled apart by Thoughtseize decks and such, but not everybody's playing, Inquisition Thoughtseize decks. Actually, don't have to give back the other list, do I? It was like wasn't actually very expensive at all. Appreciate you guys being patient and sticking around with us through the brewing phase of the deck of the night. Appreciate you guys. Seriously, I mean that. I'm not just saying that. I appreciate you guys being patient and hanging out while we build a deck, and the reward is that you guys get to see it. I think we'll jam a few games with it. I don't think I have any monies, though, to... Well, I probably don't want to play this in a league just yet anyway. We've got 26 fun bucks. We could play it in the 1v1 queue, see how it does against a random opponent. It's more or less got a lot of the same jank as the other one did. This is just a bit more proactive, less reactive, which I think is just maybe a better place to be in Modern, quite frankly. Trying out Mariner. We've got some other tutor targets than just... Like, the other build, all it had was a couple of Curious Obsessions and a Steal. Don't get me wrong. Maybe that's all you need for Talois to be able to find, but I'd be curious to expound and expand upon what this guy can get. Like, if you get 2 triggers, it can assemble this Wombo. You get 2, you're up against, we're losing the race, right? We lose the dice roll, somebody else is beating a bit more quickly than we are. Isolation, you just go get this. Yeah, I think each of these certainly has their place. I think the mana base looks a lot more healthy too after we tinkered with it. So that's good. I don't think Card Hoarder actually had any of these snow-covered island at the moment. If you guys have any other suggestions, now is the time, because I'm going to go ahead and grab these cards. We're going to play another match. It's 11 o'clock my time, so I don't really have much more in me besides another match. But I don't like to brew a deck, and then I'm sorry if I've done that in the past. I'm sure I have when I've been tired and brewed a deck with you guys and then not played it immediately after. I'm sure that's like got to be like the most disappointing thing in the world, right? For you, some of you guys. You sit there and you help me build a deck and this and that, and then I'm just like, actually, peace. I'm gonna go to bed. Try not to do that in the future if I can, guys. I'm sure that's disappointing to say the least. Alright, so we need all of this. So we need quite a few cards. We need 59 cards. That's not too bad. I'm most disappointed in no Garricks. You're going to keep pitching that until I actually play a Garrick deck, aren't you, Melfina? Oh, you know what we didn't get? Crap, I wanted to play it. I'm going to run it over the extra damping sphere. I wanted to play... oh, what is her name? She's the legendary blue 2-drop. I don't know, how do we get here? We were talking about Narset and Vendilion Click. What is it called? Oh, what is the name of that card? We were really excited about it for Legacy, too. It's if they don't have the same number of lands as the spell they're trying to cast. What is it called? What's her name? It's not Linvala. It's her name does start with L though. It's not Linvala. If opponent lands. Let's see what this pulls up. Oh, okay. There she is. Lavina. Yeah, each opponent can't cast non-creature spells CMC. I thought this might be spicy for the Hogak deck. They can't actually... Now, would we main deck her? I don't think so. Is that the hedge you want to do? I think we'd rather do the Remorseful Cleric hedge, but this could be a spicy sideboard piece. Tron, Hogak, Amulet Titan. Definitely Amulet Titan. They have to ramp out a little bit more naturally. They can't do Amulet plus Karoo land. Lavina's actually very good versus Hogak. I believe that. I've been seeing people playing her. Asphodel. Oh yeah, Asphodel, maybe. Yeah, if no mana was spent. You don't really think about the bottom part as much. Oh yeah, they can't pact. Yeah, that's true. So that's like 3 matchups. She's spicy. Hogak, Tron, Amulet Titan. I don't know. Yeah, like Living End, Asphodel decks. Probably not going to see them as much. Yeah, this is spicy. We'll play her. We'll try it. Try out the spice. I know she's no spirit, but she's in our colors. Maybe we're supposed to play 2 of her. Maybe that's actually like a really good call. Like maybe that's a better call than playing like Damping Sphere. Maybe we should just play 2 of her instead of bothering with Damping Spheres. I don't think we have that bad of a game against Storm. We got a bit of permission, fast clock, a couple of counter spells here and there. Yeah, I think Lavina might be like a really, really spicy sideboard choice at the moment. Clear. Browse. And like Mariner does protect her somewhat. So like maybe this split is actually really heads up if we have sideboard cards like her. Like maybe we should maybe we should hedge more on Mariner than we do Drogskol. No, I like the split. For mana cost. These are a little tough to cast when we draw like the Haunt or if we have like Cavern, or we probably don't want a bunch of this guy, so we may not always be able to cast him on 2. Yeah, that's fair. Let's play the split. Let's see how we like the split. Oops. Talos. Yeah, she's a spicy one. Lavina. And she's like worth nothing, but like I feel like that could change very quickly if people like are like, wait a minute. She's got to be showing up in humans lists at least now. You could just main deck her if there's enough Hogak and Tron. Just main deck this in humans. Why not? Like, why wouldn't you? If there's enough of those 3 decks we just listed, like, why wouldn't you like hedge and like play one main deck as humans? Maybe you even still you don't want to main deck her. I don't know. Hmm. People jokingly talked about this card in Legacy too because of Force of Will, but like it never came together. But so what do we need? A couple of Lavinas. Did this not give me the version that shoot we didn't load the right version? Clear. That's what's going wrong. Oh, okay. Export. That's what's. I knew I did something wrong, chat. Forgive me. I'm a little tired. I had a super. Not to complain to you guys again. First world problems. But I had a really long day. I did overtime again, but this time the overtime I did until almost 7. So I literally came home and turned on the stream. I'm still here, guys. I'm still doing the things. Still doing it. Yes, we need all of these things right now. We don't need all of these things, do we? Oh, we need the whole sideboard in this case. Okay. They do have those snow cupboards for us to rent. Cool. Pretty budget deck. Granted, I mean, I've got some of the mana base. How much is Cavern of Souls right now? 17? Yeah. I think 2 caverns will be just fine for this deck. Like, we do need to have a certain threshold of snow cupboards just due to the thin ice. Yeah, it seems doubly strong against Amulet Titan. Reasonable against Tron. As far as Hogak is concerned, it really does just turn off specifically Hogak, right? But without Hogak, they can't combo off. They can certainly still do the whole Bloodghast Vengevine make some zombies line. I think our sideboard already has plenty of hate though for that deck, so like what we got? 2 clerics, 2 cages, 2 rest in pieces, and we're gonna try 2 Lavinas. Yeah, that's quite a bit. We bring in the settle too. That's a lot. That's a lot to bring in. Friend Bucky says, does it hit Hogak? It should. Oh, no, it doesn't. It's non-creature. You're right, Fran. I'm sitting here thinking it does. I saw an uptick in this card, so I thought that it did. It does not. You're correct. Non-creature spell. Oh, I'm less excited about the card already. Dang it. Alright, hang on. I've liked the clerics. I'm gonna play a third one. Like pretty much every time I've played Spirit since this card's come out, I've played at least 2 or 3. Really like the flexibility on the card. Right? It's very if then. I actually thought it did until I just read it. Hey, you know what? I'm sorry to mislead you, Fran. It's okay. We'll make that quick change. I'll grab another Remorseful Cleric. So, yeah. I mean, maybe we should play the Damping Sphere, actually. I like the idea of Lavina, though. I like it. I like it. We'll try it. Been seeing it pop up in people's sideboards. Maybe it really is just a humans card. Maybe we shouldn't bother. I really shouldn't use Moto price as a benchmark for any sort of like demand. It's such a saturated, convoluted market, right? It's fine. We'll try one. I got excited about the card. We'll try it. So instead of playing the Damping Spheres at all. I mean, we have Stonies to bring in against Tron too. They can disrupt a little bit. Like against Tron, what do we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Probably switch into on thin ice out of path against. Oh, we'll need to make those switches here too. So this goes here. These get cut. Play Lavina. This gets here. It's cool that she got a reprinting. It's nice that they bring some of these creatures back. Oh, that was quick. Oh, I should hope it's quick. We were borrowing one card. Yes, I am ready. All right, we'll try this nonsense. I'm excited to see if it works. So what have we done? We've gone a little bit further away from like free pitch spells, which I get it. Like that was kind of what the deck was trying to do. And then like you're trying to recoup. I understand the Curious Obsession. I do, right? Because you've got a bunch of free pitch blue spells, and then you're trying to recoup that card loss with like the Curiouses, and you're trying to recoup that card disadvantage with the 3 mana draw two. I get it. I get it. I'm going to try this build instead. But just for the record, I do understand what the original, for the most part, I understand what the original deck builder was trying to achieve with the with some of the interesting card choices. It was probably because they were trying to recoup that card disadvantage from those free pitch spells as best they could. So I commend them for that. It's cool. It was a cool concept. I think that against fellow fair decks, that's still really weak. But strong. I mean, strong against decks that like have a few key cards that they need to resolve. I think it's amazing, and I'm sure that 5-0 maybe came from them facing a string of what? Facing a string of decks where where they got to do that, where they got to free counter like a few clutch key spells, but then maybe crumbled to, would crumble to some of the fair decks of the format. This is a 5-land opener. This is us on the play. Needs second land. Do we risk it? We have a scry. Alright, chat, I need your help here. Do we risk it for the biscuit? Risk it? Fluffy with the raid of 12. Thank you so much, Fluffy. I was hoping I was going to get to host you tonight, though, friend. I thought I was going to go offline before you did tonight. Seems like that's not the case. We're playing a janky Tallowisp Spirits. It's going to be a lot of fun. I have no idea what we're up against. We just mulliganed from a 5-land 7 to a 1-land 6, but we're on the play. But we do have a scry. Do you guys throw this away and go to 5? We are playing a 22-land deck. You can do the math. 54 into... You'd keep it? That's what I'm thinking too. There's 21 lands out of this 54. 21 into 54. 38% we can scry to land bottom. Uh-oh. It's not like we're an Aethervile deck. I'm scared, chat. Oops. Meant to click the Wanderer. But then again, I would have kept the first hand. Don't trust me. I think we're going to get a second land. I don't know if we're going to get a third land for the Queller, though. I think it's going to happen. Believe, chat. Believe. Hopefully we didn't get scry bugged. What did we bottom? We bottomed a Remorseful. Oh, they're not Hogak. Probably not Hogak. Sometimes they'll do this play, and then they'll go land, neonate, pitch, Vengevine, play another. Happens all the time. It's okay. It's just the practice room. Well, it's the queue. We did put up play points for this, but don't worry, chat. It's less high stakes, right? We blew 100 points in that janky Mardudu deck tonight. Let's go ahead and update the deck list as well, guys. I have not done that. You guys are experiencing a little bit of tired brew spy at the moment. Apologize. Did we fix it? We didn't quite fix it. What did we do? We added the... Cut these, trying out a Lavina. This Lavina. What do we change here? We cut this, added this. Cool. Alright, there you guys have the deck list, commands. Alright. I don't know why I put a question mark on the good luck, have fun. that was a mistake. I look like such a troll right now, right? Because we were... I mean, I need to put up the deck list for you guys. That's important. We look like such a troll because I accidentally put a question mark there. Bushwhacker. Oh. This is what we're up to. Oh, they don't have second land either, thank goodness. But we do. I think we want to get the value. Maybe I'm supposed to flash in Rattle Chains, though, first. Yeah, it's Monka. This is a good blocker, too. That's another reason to play Wisp. Wisp is a good blocker. Tutor things. But yeah, thank you so much for the raid, Fluffy. Everybody joining from Fluffy stream, if any of you are left at this point. Fluffy, I need you to play my take on the Red Prison deck sometime. If I can find it. I think I just called it Goblin Engineer. I need you to vet this and have it on my desk, but I'm kidding. I think you would enjoy this list, Fluffy, and I think you could take it to the next level. It is a trash for treasure Goblin Engineer prison. Can't get my words out tonight. Pyro prison. There we go. Words are important. See? What do you think? Holy spell queller, Batman. But we are doing nicely. We have lots of options here. I'll probably just rattle, though. I think we've got this. Poor guy's mana starved over there. Goblin Matron? Wait a minute. This is goblins. I feel a little bad for this guy. A little bit. Do we like assemble the combo? Like, are we just gonna do that? I'd need a few more lands to really pull that off mana efficiently, though. Do we just go get Steel? Do we just get Curious? I might just get Curious. I might just get the Curious. Do we just get the Curious? Maybe we can just protect whatever. Yeah, I think I might just get the Curious because like a few more land drops. I guess I can see this being actually really a reasonably tutored a reasonable amount of the time kind of a card. Give me a different board state, I'll probably search for other things. All right, poor Ben. Poor Ben. Hang in there, Ben. His name is Ben in there. Hang in there, Ben. I would not think that 8 whack is a good matchup for us. I think we got very lucky there, chat. To be completely honest, I think we were very lucky. Actually, maybe we want the Force. Well, no, they're going to be creature based. Well, he showed us Goblin Matron, though. Maybe he's going to have Aether Vial. Maybe we want this. Let's play the Thin Ices, although spot removal can be kind of weak against them. I don't think this matchup is about card advantage even or the conscription. Maybe we just want isolation and steal, and maybe we don't even play all the wisps when we cut this part of the package, which I'm considering doing. Let me settle the wreckage. Curious is Arcanum Wings to Cryptgeist. No, it's for conscription. I don't think we played though against 8 whack, especially when they're on the play. I think we cut that. I think if we have extra slots, we maybe play. Wait, does Lavina counter Mox and Bauble? If no mana was spent to cast, yeah, I guess it does. I guess she does. Huh. Just like now I'm thinking of like all the weird things that she actually works against. Not this matchup though, but like I guess she does counter like Mox Opal and Mishra's Bauble and stuff. Tormod's Crypt. Not that we care about countering Tormod's Crypt. I'll play like 3 Tallowisp, I guess, if we don't have anything else. I mean, I like being able to get the temporal isolation, so I think Raman's pretty weak in this matchup too. So these are really weak. I honestly like Tallowisp is got 3 toughness. We cut these though, right? Maybe we still play Obsession. I think the counter magic is weak. I think a lot of these things are weak. So we want to be playing a 2/2. We probably play this, right? I don't think we can. I don't think the game's gonna go nearly long enough to like. This is 5 mana technically to get this all together. I mean, it's broken up over the course of 2 turns, so let's play this. All right, so we're actually gonna play the Tallowisps anyway. I mean, we still have 3 pieces to tutor for with them, right? We still have Steel. It's good in the matchup. Isolation. It's fine. Thin Ice. We do have a Snow land. 2 lands. Probably keep it. It's slow. Well, is it slow? I could go basic. I'll keep. I could go basic Plains and Thin Ice turn 1. Oh man, these lands. Maybe we could play these in this. I don't think I would though. It's rough mana over there for the opponent. You can play Auntie's Hovel in Goblins. Be perfectly fine. I mean, even Elves in Modern plays. Okay, we have all the options. Even Elves in Modern plays the green black variant. Glit was it Glit, some yeah, whatever. The Elf land. Reveal an Elf land. Marshall. I'm still gonna get Hollow Fountain. Yeah, I don't know why the original list had like 4 Hallowed Fountains. That was weird. I think 2, maybe 3 is fine. Mariner. Is that what we do? Mariner? I guess so. Yes. Guys, it's also a goblin. It's also a goblin. See, we're also playing goblins. We all play goblins. All of us. All of us want to play goblins, let's be honest.
Goblins got some much needed love for Modern recently. Look at that face. He's totally a goblin. No, Crater. It's anything, though. Spell or ability. This will be expensive. Wow, we just, like, block everything. Now we quell anything? What? Insanity. This deck is insane. Our deck is insane. We could have on Thin Ice the Crater Maker, though. Maybe I was supposed to. I think I want a Queller, though. Like, I think I want to Queller his next play more than I care about protecting the Mariner. And this would cost him 2 mana to blow up the Mariner. And he'd give up the Crater Maker itself. We take 2. It's fine. We accept.
They're almost like gremlins. Hey, what's up, Partrap? Coming out of the woodwork. You know it's a good stream when Partrap just like kind of like creeps up into the stream. He's like, "Oh hey, Bruce Spy, I want to be a goblin too." Like that's how I think of you, Partrap. Like on the down low. You know I like you, man. Like you know we're good friends, right? Hopefully at this point. I hope we're at that point in the streamer viewer relationship. But no, Partrap's a hoot. I've mostly good things to say about you.
Queller, because it's a 2/3. No, he's gonna blow up the Mariner.
Partrap, have you considered picking up Super Shiggy channel? Have you considered picking up the Bruce Spy emotes yet? I think you'd have fun trolling me with them. I could see you using this one in particular. The either frowny face, probably eyebrow. Mostly. Okay, that one's great. The hamster, like, not interested face is good. Oh, thanks for the bits, Brian. Thanks so much for the support, man. I appreciate you, Brian. Alright, that's fine. Opponent spent 4 mana to kill my Mariner. I think we're okay with how this game is going. I think we just play Captain now, right? I don't have to do anything. I could just play Mariner. And sit on this path. That's what I think I'm going to do. Partrap got gifted all his emotes, though. Oh, okay. That's the way to do it. No, I understand. My you know what? You didn't hurt my feelings at all, Partrap. I promise you, I'm not that way. I enjoyed you before money was ever an object. Okay, Pepperidge Farm remembers. I remember when this very stream had no such thing as holy Hera. That's awesome. Resolves. Pepperidge Farm remembers. I remember when this stream operated. I'm very excited about my opponent's deck now. Just because it has Unearth. You gotta pay the extra. Do we need the extra mana? I don't think I'd path my own Mariner just to... Do we want the extra mana? Nah, I don't think so. Just considering it for a brief moment. I remember when we used to operate on nothing but borrowing cards from other viewers, or from viewers, and also, I'm at 14, I'm losing the race. I think we just sit on this spell queller. We drew land anyway. I remember those days, Chad. I remember. Yeah, I remember the only sort of money that flowed was money that I won from prizing events, or those are the days, the virtue days. I was also much younger then. I'm still full of a lot of life. I hope you guys realize that I still have tons of energy in me.
I don't plan on like getting old anytime soon. I promise you guys. Forever young, this Bruce by this young Bruce by. But I still have to pretend to be an adult at least during the day, right, guys? My engineering job and whatnot. Can you send me some? I'm an old man. Start streaming. Start streaming. It really brings out the. I think I take this. I seriously think it's helped bring out my inner child in like little spurts. You know, an hour or so a day. I just sound like an old man today because I'm tired because of overtime and stuff. Like I still have plenty of energy. I'm planning on. I'll probably hit the gym in the morning. I've actually been getting like a lot of my energy back lately. I've been going to the gym. You're gonna make fun of me when you guys hear this, but I've been playing like digital card games on my smartphone. Cause like I'm not super motivated every single day when I hit the gym. I'm there. Like if you do a lot of reading on that subject, like what's important is that you just go there. You don't have to be the person like pumping like 50 pounders or whatever. And I'm usually not, right? I'm a bit on the more nerdy spectrum, so I don't. That's not usually. Wow, our draw's been nuts actually. Despite minor setbacks and cool things that the opponent is doing, we are doing quite well for ourselves. Hoop ha. Swing six. Uh, Being an adult seems like a big lie somebody made up. Nobody wants to see my mug on stream. What are you talking about, Big Loss? I'd watch you. What are you gonna stream? When are you gonna stream? So that's the thing. Like I didn't think I was a streamer. I wanted to get better at Magic. I think that I have somewhat. I hope that I've gotten a little bit better at Magic. You should have seen where I started, right? Yeah, that was like the original goal. Is I never had planned to put a microphone or a camera or all that nonsense. That kind of came later. He's gonna hit the captain. That's okay. Nothing I can do about it. Like we've got a glut of removal. Oh no, we've got mismatch paths. Oh god, we have to fix that before we stream this. I have no time. Everyone's playing Magic at the store. I'm working. Yeah, I hear you, Big Loss. I'm sure plenty more people would stream if they had the time to do so. I think I'm gonna take it. I mean, I don't want to die to like gobble grenade out of nowhere, but it's like another unearth bolt. Okay. So wait, he decided not to cast the spell? What? He decided not to cast the Instigator? Why wouldn't you cast your dudes? It's weird. Isn't that a little bit weird, chat? That's a little weird. It's a little bit of weird. Little bit of strange. Oh, on thin ice is absolutely great when you're getting a token. I'm just going to remove one of those goblin tokens just to ensure that our race is insured. I don't even know if I want to fetch this prismatic. I probably shouldn't have played it out if I wasn't going to fetch. It's like our life points could really matter now. I apologize about the mismatch paths. Clearly, I meant to play this version of a braid. Clearly, I meant to play the Rebecca Guay paths. It's kind of my go-to. I like it. The mosaic style. Oh, you know what I just found out today? You guys are going to laugh at me when you hear this. Okay. Well, we'll just pop his graveyard. It's fine. I knew it was on the horizon. I didn't know it had come out, though. So I'm like behind. I found out from one of my coworkers today, the intern, Johnny. I found out that... I think I'll take this hit. I don't know. We're kind of getting down to the wire here. I mean, I'd probably just path this Whirler. I don't need to path it yet. I think we have plenty of mana. Getting down to the wire here, chat. Temporal. Interesting. Plenty of removal. He told me that I'm gonna finish my story. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Magic at Hand, right? He told me that One Punch Man Season 2 was out. And I didn't know it was out. And I actually really liked the first season of it. I think it's funny, interesting. I'm literally going to cast this on a Chain Whirler. Good old Temporal Isolation, chat. Modern staple. No, it's here because we have the Taloisps, I promise you, chat. It's here because we do enchantment things. We're basically Boggles, except blue-white. Kidding. I would never play Boggles. I couldn't bring myself to do that. I also have like some other things I want to do with you guys tonight. So, briefly, I don't know if I have the energy in me. Like, we just gonna die to a Goblin Grenade? Is that what's happening? Because my opponent has 4 cards that they just haven't played. You know what? I'm going to put my opponent on having a bunch of Goblin Grenades in their hand. I'm just going to remove both of these threats. I think his hand's just a bunch of Goblin Grenades. Or Reanimate spells. Either way, let's just take these out. Let's just... No longer. No longer. Alright, I've been watching Season 2. Personally, I'd recommend watching Season 1 again instead. Oh, is it really no good? Oh, really? Okay. Also, since we have, like, most of our creatures fly, we really don't care about isolation. I think that's what we decided about the Legacy deck, too. Like, we had, like, a Legacy Taloisp we were messing around with. We don't really care about the fact that, yes, when you temporal isolation something, yes, it gets to block, technically, but it doesn't really get to do anything else. But that's a small price to pay for it to be instant speed, right? It's like a glorified pacifism, but at least you get it instant speed. So I think that's kind of a fine trade-off. Like, we're spirits, like, we fly over it, who cares that it could potentially block, like, what? I guess the sideboard Lavina, but... We had a great stream tonight, guys. Like, we had Robo-Pod, where we got the Brea out. If you're wondering how we cast her, we didn't. We put her into play off of the Birthing Pod. Like, we had a good night. Played a couple different modern decks. Not this one, but we wish we had. Played some Spirits, another Chain Whirler, sure. Going to 7. I guess if he does have Goblin Grenade, he can just launch this one at us. You did miss Robo-Pod, Partrap. We did get a 2-3. We got the old 2-3. Yeah. Yeah, no, we played Robo-Pod. It was a good time. Oh, what was I going to say? Other news. Risk of Rain, the content patch 1 came out. I think I'm going to do the smart adult Bruce By thing and actually go to bed, though, after this match. As much as I really wanted to play it today, I did. You know what? You don't always get to do all the things that you want to do today, right? Like, no, I mean, like for me, like, streaming tonight was of higher precedence than playing, like, the new, content patch, right? But it was something on my list that I wanted to do today. Didn't get to it, Throw this spirit deck in the trash. Big Loss says if it has Shadow, what is it blocking? Oh yeah, this is, it can only block Truth. This card's great. Never mind. My mistake. Doesn't matter that we fly. Oh, I mean it does, but... We're just dead. What do you got? What do you got? Opponent. Chieftain. Well, I would rather path that than I would path anything else. Let's not have that. Let's not have that. That's something I would not want to temporal isolation, by the way. His abilities would still work. He could still Anthem and give haste to the team. Would be an example of a creature you don't want a temporal isolation. Let's play Garrett Control. You trying to help out Melfina? Look at that, Jade. You got some supporters. Are we going to lose? We're going to lose to this. We're going to lose to this wonderful Goblins deck. I'm at 4. Top deck of the century. Okay, that's a blocker. Hoop ha! Are you and Big Loss teaming up, Jade? Teaming up on me? Yeah, but Jade has a special place in the stream. In this stream's heart and history, right? She oh. No, opponent. No. Nope. She's also a subscriber, so I'm just kidding. I don't play favorites like that, I promise you. Although she has wished me good night for like 2 years consistently, or longer. 3 years? She has a credit card. You don't have a credit card, Partrap? Crazy. Am I just dead? Do you just have like Goblin Grenade here? It's okay, we won game 1. There's a third game to be played. Actually, no, we're dead anyway, because I block the Chain Whirler. Queller dies. He gets the Pan-Shellac Monk, or whatever his name is. He gets Pan-Shellac Monk back. Yeah, we're just like... Well, no, wait, maybe I'm not dead. Maybe I'm not dead. You block, and you swing these. Block here. Queller dies. He gets Pan-Shellac back. Now we're dead. We're dead. No, we're not dead. We go to 1. Thank goodness we didn't crack this, right? Because I go to 2. He gets Pan-Shellac back. Yeah, Pan-Shellac Mons comes back. Take 2. Crack the Goblin. I mean, maybe he has like Tarfire. I don't know. I don't. I am a simple Partrap. I've heard that there's some people that like don't mess around with any sort of bank or credit cards. Like they literally do everything like Apple Pay style, you know, these days. I mean, it's I guess you could get through life that way. Am I dead? Did we die? Am I dead? Please just put us to 1. I think we literally took this. Yeah. That's not going to kill me. Gut shot. No. I mean, I doubt it. Oh, these are cool looking Goblin tokens. Wow. Close. Super close game. Super close. Or, I shouldn't have said match. I should have said game. That's fine. Saying match there is fine. That was really close. This is close. We went to 1. They went to 2. Wow. By the way, here's the kick in the foot, or kick in the boot, Anyway. Spend 20 play points, get 30. We net 10 play points, chat. We've done it. We're rich. We're rich. We did it. Alright, I'm going to host over to another stream. If you guys know anything about the history of the Bruce By Show, or Spawn, or this or that, I came from pretty humble beginnings. Thanks to other Twitch streamers in the Magic community hosting me on occasion, I was able to build up the little following that you guys see here in the chat. Some of you are maybe from that. I'd like to continue that tradition and host other people. I do it pretty consistently. I try, even on nights where I'm exhausted, I try to always host and help out somebody else. I forgot to tell you guys that we are running a charity at the moment on my stream. It's the bottom right corner. It is, I think I've set up so that it like reads your, I'm surprised anybody's here. There's Team Super League Modern, Team Pomplamoose, and Mage Market. How are you guys hanging out with me? That's amazing. That's amazing. There's a guy playing Mentor in Modern. That's cool. Conley is still trying to do some jank. I'm into it. It's fun. It's got some Yixla jailers. War prison. There's a lot of cool stuff on there. Seriously, there's a lot of cool stuff on here. There's a lot of cool decks that you guys could be. Legacy Hogak Zombardment. What? That sounds sweet. You guys want to see Hogak and Legacy? Not a fan of... Well, I'm just glad you're hanging out here. Watching other streams isn't good enough to stay up for. Oh, well, thanks, Partrap. Time for sleeps, indeed. That is a Hogak, and that is a... Wow, okay. Yeah, we're going to host over to this guy. Freaking playing the Hogak deck in Legacy. That's spicy. Also, his name is Chad, and he's 19. So say hi to Chad for me, guys. I'll see you on the next Brew Spy. Yeah, that's Legacy Zombardment Hogak style. Spicy. All right, scavenging booze. I'll see you guys. Thanks for coming. Hey, you know, I really seriously, I don't say it enough. Well, maybe I'm saying it too much tonight. But seriously, I appreciate you guys. I mean, let's think about it from this perspective. It's a little bit too loud. We've been at the Brew Spy stream for some time now. I know, big face. I'm going to scare you guys with my laundry in the background, right? We've been at this for some time. Just want to thank you guys for all the support. I wish I had a different way to be able to thank you guys other than just the content, just hanging out with you guys. But I'll see you guys. Go watch some Legacy Zombardment. That sounds like a lot of fun. So with that, good night to you guys. And Jade, thank you for the sweet dreams wishes. Same to you, and same to... I'm gonna extend this to the rest of chat. I usually don't do that. I'm gonna do that once. I'm gonna extend that to the rest of chat as well. You guys also, wherever you might be, also have a good night. Thank me by doing your laundry. I know there's a lot. There's actually a huge pile behind my head of like towels and underwear and just various pieces of clothing that I have not washed. So I know it's all the overtime. I blame it on the overtime, okay? I'm supposed to only work 40 hours a week. I've been having like 45, 50-hour weeks now. So, well, happy to remind you, Big Loss. All right, I'll see you. Say hi to this Legacy player for me, guys. I'll see you. You guys have a good one.